Chapter 121. Is China's defeat already decided? Bingning, you seem worried. Lin Tian sat down next to Luo Bingning and whispered. Luo Bingning said anxiously, couldn't you just be doing your translation job? Why are you participating in a duel like this? Some people around looked at Luo Bingning. Although she was wearing a baseball cap and a mask, Luo Bingning's voice sounded very pleasant, and they felt that she must be a great beauty. It's all right. Don't you know my strength? I can defeat them in a matter of minutes. Lin Tian grasped Luo Bingning's hand and said. Not far away, Nakamura Taro and Nakamura Jiro sneered inwardly. They had already seen through that Lin Tian was just a useless piece of trash. Lin Tian, aren't you going to translate? Luo Bingning asked softly. Lin Tian shook his head slightly. What follows is a life or death duel. These kinds of duels are mainly decided by swords. I'll stay here with you. He finished speaking and put his arm around Luo Bingning. With so many people around, Luo Bingning tensed slightly, but quickly rested her head on Lin Tian's shoulder. Dude, your translation is great, but agreeing to duel with them is still a bit reckless. A young man beside her whispered. Nakamura Jiro's strength is quite good. Nakamura Taro had mid-stage dark force cultivation a few years ago, this guy must be at the late stage of dark force now. Another person beside him said. Lin Tian coughed lightly, thanks for your concern, but they can't hurt me in the slightest. Don't be scared later. Understood. You need to be quick. If you concede in time, you win. The two young men who had just spoken whispered. The arena was quickly cleared, and the second group went up. This group was Li Ji from China versus a young man from Japan. Li Ji's eyes seemed to spit fire. His family and the other family had a feud. Both sides had suffered casualties at the hands of the other. The Eastern Sakura Kingdom had invaded before, and many seeds of hatred had been sown back then. Martial arts families were prime targets back then. You bastard, prepare to die. Li Ji roared, his long sword slashing fiercely at his opponent. Clang, clang. The opponent's weapon was a katana. This was a duel of swordsmanship, each strike aimed to kill. So fast. Even at the dark force level, he's this powerful. Master Lin is a martial arts master. I wonder how powerful he is. You know Master Lin too. I'm a fan of Master Lin. Two people nearby were talking about Master Lin. Luo Bingning turned her head to look at Lin Tian. Her lips were only centimeters from his face. Lin Tian also turned his head. Their mouths were less than 10 centimeters apart. Luo Bingning's heart raced. Wife, are you blushing? Lin Tian asked with a smile. No. Luo Bingning quickly turned her head back. She continued watching the duel, and soon she cried out in alarm. Li Ji had been stabbed. The opponent's katana had slashed a gash in his arm. Blood flowed rapidly. Kill. Li Ji ignored it. He continued his attack, and under his frenzied assault, his opponent was soon also stabbed and bleeding. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. The two fought fiercely for over 10 minutes, both covered in blood, each losing more than 500 milliliters of blood. Sweat beaded on Luo Bingning's palms. She was worried about Li Ji on the Chinese side, and even more worried about Lin Tian when he went onto the stage. What if something happened to Lin Tian? You beast, today I'll take you down with me. Li Ji roared. His pace slowed noticeably, and his attacks became slower, but his momentum was no less than before. Li Ji's opponent was slightly stronger, but Li Ji was fearless, and his opponent was starting to back down. A while later, the two had lost nearly 1,000 milliliters of blood. The ground was covered in blood. An ordinary person losing this much blood might have already gone into shock. Li Ji and his opponent were martial artists, but they were also nearing their limit. You're insane. You're insane. I surrender. Li Ji's opponent finally couldn't hold back any longer and shouted. If they continued fighting, they might both die here. Ha 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 ha. Li Ji laughed wildly. You little bastard, now you know who's the grandpa and who's the grandson, right? From now on, keep your tail between your legs. With that, Li Ji staggered. He was holding on by sheer willpower, and he was about to give up. Quick! Someone carried him on a stretcher, and Li Ji was quickly carried away. Lin Tian didn't go to help. There was no need. Li Ji's problem was mainly excessive blood loss. The doctors around were already waiting and could give him a transfusion immediately. How terrifying. That was a really fierce fight. Many viewers were chilled to the bone. Even in television and movies, such brutal fighting is rare, the scenes are too gory to pass censorship. Time ticked by. It was past noon, and no one had eaten, but no one complained of being hungry, as most people were too full to eat anyway. It hasn't changed yet. Lin Tian muttered to himself. The next match is Yang Fei's turn. The treasure chest above Luo Bingning's head was still a silver treasure chest. Other stimuli could also trigger treasure chests in Luo Bingning, but none seemed as effective as his teasing of her. Next match, Yang Fei vs Fujiwara Ueno. Zhang Yi said solemnly. In the first 5 matches, China won 2 and lost 3. In the 3 losses, the Chinese players were seriously injured. Even if Yang Fei wins, we've still lost. Lin Tian was just a regular translator, that match doesn't count. Yang Fei's victory puts us in Dongyian Kingdom in a draw. Go Yang Fei. Many people discussed amongst themselves, many cheering loudly. Yang Fei and Fujiwara Ueno entered the dueling area. Fujiwara Ueno sneered, Yang Fei, although this is your home turf, and many people are cheering for you, they can only witness your defeat at my hands. The translator beside him quickly translated his words. Yang Fei calmly replied, Fujiwara Ueno, before we've even fought, who will win is uncertain. His inner strength had recovered considerably. Yang Fei, you will definitely lose the next match. Even if you win, your China has still lost this time. Fujiwara Ueno said with a smile. He wanted to put pressure on Yang Fei with his words. If Yang Fei became agitated, the chances of defeat would increase. Fujiwara Ueno's words had no effect on Yang Fei. Could Lin Tian really lose to Nakamura Taro and the others? Enough talk, let's begin. Yang Fei sneered. Fujiwara Ueno's eyes narrowed. Judging from Yang Fei's reaction, this battle wouldn't be easy. Kill. Both moved instantly. Yang Fei used a tang sword, Fujiwara Ueno a samurai sword. Clang, clang. The two clashed fiercely. Both were at the late stage of inner strength. Their attacks were even faster. The spectators were dazzled, their hearts pounding. With the ferocity of Yang Fei's attacks, if someone's hands or feet were struck, they would likely be severed instantly. A headshot would mean instant death. Lin Tian, the next match is yours. Luo Bingning said nervously. Yang Fei is Lin Tian's friend, but she's not in the mood to watch right now. Chapter 122A Battle of Life and Death, Lin Tian makes his move. Inside the dueling arena, Fujiwara Ueno and Yang Fei were locked in fierce combat. Unlike their earlier battles with Li Ji and the others, both Fujiwara Ueno and Yang Fei were trying their best to avoid injury. Their plan was essentially the same: exhaust each other's strength, then seize the opportunity to kill. If they could kill each other, they wouldn't hesitate. Afraid of getting hurt, I'll take your life when you're almost exhausted. A cold glint flashed in Fujiwara Ueno's eyes. Yang Fei possessed considerable talent in the late stage of Dark Force. If he killed Yang Fei, his entire family would reap significant benefits. Time ticked by. Both Fujiwara Ueno and Yang Fei's stamina and internal energy were steadily depleting. Their foreheads were covered in sweat. Their clothes were soaked with perspiration. The intense life-or-death struggle was extremely taxing. Lin Tian watched with a grave expression. Logically, Yang Fei should win, but their strength is roughly equal, and life or death could be decided in an instant. Anyone could win. Brother, look at Lin Tian's appearance. Nakamura Jiro whispered to his older brother. Nakamura Taro turned and glanced at Lin Tian. Lin Tian was frowning, probably already worried about the upcoming duel. We have to be quick. As we rush out, we'll smash our sword sheaths at him, making him scream in pain, so he won't have time to surrender. Nakamura Taro quietly arranged the tactics. Okay. Nakamura Jiro nodded. Inside the dueling arena, both Fujiwara Ueno and Yang Fei were panting heavily, but Yang Fei was hiding something. He was still holding back a small amount of internal energy. Fujiwara Ueno, the time to fight to the death has come. You'd better surrender, or I'll cut off your hand. Yang Fei said fiercely, his voice filled with murderous intent. Fujiwara Ueno, who actually understood Chinese, didn't wait for a translator. He grinned maliciously. Want to cut off my hand? Then I'll cut off your head in a moment. Want to kill me? Then you'd better be prepared to die. Yang Fei said menacingly. Originally, he hadn't intended to kill him, but since Fujiwara Ueno was so arrogant, he wouldn't hold back. Clang, bang, the two continued fighting. Their movements and attack speed had slowed considerably, but the danger hadn't diminished. Both of them reacted more slowly, making them easier targets. Suddenly, Yang Fei stumbled. Now, Fujiwara Ueno's heart leapt with joy. He quickly launched an attack, his katana slashing with all his might towards Yang Fei's neck. If this strike landed, Yang Fei would surely die, his head would be severed in front of hundreds of people. Ah! Many people cried out in alarm. Just then, Yang Fei's speed increased dramatically, allowing him to perfectly evade the attack. PFF'd. At the same time, Yang Fei's tang sword sliced across Fujiwara Ueno's neck, severing his throat. Ah! Many people gasped again. This time, even Luo Bingning screamed. Above her head, the silver treasure chest suddenly transformed into a golden one. Ah! Fujiwara Ueno clutched his throat, blood seeping from between his fingers, his eyes wide with disbelief. He couldn't understand how Yang Fei still possessed internal energy. Quick, quick! The people of Dongying Kingdom acted swiftly. If he had been rescued in time, Fujiwara Ueno might have survived. But Yang Fei knew Fujiwara Ueno was beyond saving. He was quite confident in his strike. Death in a duel, and Fujiwara Ueno had tried to kill him too, meant Fujiwara Ueno had no one to blame but himself. Damn it! Nakamura Taro and Nakamura Jiro's faces were grim. The Nakamura family had a good relationship with the Fujiwara family, and they also had a good personal relationship with Fujiwara Ueno. Yang Fei, you little beast, you're so vicious. Fujiwara Ueno's father glared fiercely at Yang Fei. As a martial arts master, he quickly realized that his son was most likely beyond saving. Me, vicious. He just tried to cut off my head, I only slit his throat. I even left him a whole corpse. Yang Fei said coldly. Having signed a life or death contract, he wasn't worried about the Fujiwara family causing trouble. Doing so would be trampling on the rules of martial arts. Moreover, the Yang family's strength was no weaker than the Fujiwara family's. I beg you, Fujiwara Ueno's father bowed before Nakamura Taro and the others. Uncle, rest assured, Nakamura Taro quickly replied. He understood Fujiwara Ueno's meaning. Lin Tian and Yang Fei had a good relationship. If they couldn't kill Yang Fei for the time being, then let Nakamura Taro and the others kill Lin Tian first. Luo Bingning's expression changed. Lin Tian's eyes narrowed. These two bastards actually want to kill me. He was a grand master of martial arts and could clearly sense the killing intent emanating from Nakamura Taro and Nakamura Jiro. Originally, they only wanted to sever his leg. Now, because of Fujiwara Ueno, they wanted his life. 5 minutes passed. Several doctors emerged from the makeshift medical ward, shaking their heads. The resuscitation had failed. Zhang Yi picked up the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, it is regrettable news. Fujiwara Ueno has died despite all efforts to save him. But this is true martial arts. Next is the final match of the life or death struggle. Nakamura Taro and Nakamura Jiro arrived at the dueling area first, both carrying weapons, all samurai swords. Gentlemen, how about we call it quits? Let me tell you, I'm stronger than Yang Fei. Even I'm afraid of myself if I go all out. Lin Tian stood outside the line. Nakamura Jiro sneered, trying to be a coward. Kneel down and crawl between our legs, then have your girlfriend sleep with us for one night, and we'll spare your life. Lin Tian's face turned cold. Nakamura Jiro had actually brought up Luo Bingning. Yang, lend me your sword. Lin Tian looked at Yang Fei and said. If Nakamura Taro and his group had been more polite, even if they wanted to kill him, he would have let them die with some dignity. Now, there's no need to make them die with dignity. Brother Lin, here. Yang Fei quickly handed his tang sword to Lin Tian. You're courting death. Since that's the case, I'll grant your wish later. Lin Tian coldly stared at Nakamura Taro and his group. Many people felt strange. They thought Lin Tian was deliberately putting on an act, and that he would concede immediately once the duel began. Brother, Nakamura Jiro looked at Nakamura Taro. Proceed according to plan. Nakamura Taro said softly. China, Lin Tian. Eastern Japan, Nakamura Taro, Nakamura Jiro. Both sides clasped their hands in a fist salute upon reaching the designated area. The distance between them was approximately 4 or 5 meters. Ready, begin. Kill. Nakamura Taro and Nakamura Jiro slammed their sword sheaths at Lin Tian, simultaneously unleashing their full power as they charged straight at him. 4 or 5 meters was short for them. They could strike Lin Tian with their swords after charging a little over 3 meters. 4 meters, 3 meters. Lin Tian moved. He took the initiative to move forward, his tang sword sweeping horizontally, instantly slicing through the necks of both Nakamura Taro and Nakamura Jiro. You, Nakamura Taro and the others stared wide-eyed. Many onlookers also stared wide-eyed. They couldn't believe it. Wasn't Lin Tian the translator? Thump, thump. Nakamura Taro and the others fell to the ground. Help, help. Several people from Dongying Kingdom rushed into the dueling arena in a panic, but they quickly realized there was no need to help. Nakamura Taro and the others had all had their necks severed by more than half. Chapter 123. Are they even human? You, the people of Dongying Kingdom glared angrily. Lin Tian said calmly, don't look at me like that. They were the ones who wanted to duel me, and they wouldn't agree even when I cancelled. Besides, they just tried to kill me too. Someone from Dongying Kingdom roared, you deliberately lured them into attacking you so they would die by your hand. Lin Tian smiled enigmatically. Do you want revenge? We can have another match. I'll fight you bare-handed without weapons. The opponent fell silent instantly. Lin Tian's one-hit kill of Nakamura Taro and the others was due to the element of surprise, but Lin Tian's strength was also considerable. Without a perfected level of dark force cultivation, Lin Tian couldn't have succeeded. The rest of you young people from Dongying Kingdom, every single one of you, can step forward if you want revenge. A tag team battle is also acceptable. If you kill me now, no one will bother you. But if you try to cause trouble in secret, a Grand Master will come after you. Lin Tian smiled. Many powerful figures in Dongying Kingdom paled. Did Lin Tian have a Grand Master backing him? If Lin Tian did have a Grand Master backing him, they wouldn't dare act rashly. If a Grand Master came to their door, they would hardly survive. Lin Tian, who are you referring to as a young man? Someone from Dongying Kingdom asked. Lin Tian smiled calmly, anyone under 30 years old who wants to challenge me can sign a waiver of life and death, and bear the consequences themselves. The Dongying Kingdom members all looked at one of them. You just said you only use your fists, not your sword. The young man from Dongying Kingdom, Yamamoto Ichi, whom everyone was looking at, walked towards Lin Tian. He was just a little short of 30. His cultivation was at the peak of dark force. He was an extremely powerful genius in Dongying Kingdom, and a few years ago he had killed a genius martial artist from China. That's right. Lin Tian nodded slightly. Yamamoto Ichi stared at Lin Tian, judging in his heart that if Lin Tian reached the martial arts master level, he would undoubtedly lose. If Lin Tian is only at the peak of inner strength, and Lin Tian doesn't use a weapon, his chances of winning are over 90%. Lin Tian is definitely not even 25 years old. Such a young martial arts master is highly unlikely, Yamamoto Ichi thought to himself. His gaze swept over the 3 martial arts masters from their eastern Sakura kingdom. One of them said in Japanese, Ichi, he only made 1 strike just now, we didn't have time to judge his cultivation level. His speed is only at the peak of inner strength. The other 2 martial arts masters nodded in agreement. If the battle had lasted longer, they could have determined Lin Tian's cultivation level. The battle just ended too quickly. Besides, they believed Nakamura Taro and his group would win, so they hadn't been watching Lin Tian very closely. Seeing you hesitating, you're giving up. Lin Tian said calmly. Yamamoto Aikichi looked at Lin Tian, his eyes gleaming. Let's sign a life or death contract and have another match. Are you sure? Even without a sword, my fists are formidable. Lin Tian said calmly. Yamamoto Aikichi walked to the place to sign the life or death contract, quickly signed his name, and pressed his fingerprint. Lin Tian. Luo Bingning looked at Lin Tian worriedly. Lin Tian smiled. Don't worry, I'll be fine. Soon, Lin Tian also signed his name, and the two entered the dueling area. Lin Tian held his bare hand, while Yamamoto Aikichi held his sword. Sword name, Martial Soul. It once killed a genius martial artist from your China. You'll be the second. Yamamoto Aikichi sneered, shifting his stance, his eyes fixed on Lin Tian like a venomous snake. Go, brother Lin. A voice roared from the Chinese side. The genius martial artist who died years ago was his brother. Go, brother Lin. Soon, more Chinese martial artists shouted in unison, and many other Chinese spectators joined in. If Lin Tian were fighting martial artists from other countries, Killing someone might seem a bit excessive, but Lin Tian had just killed a martial artist from Dongying Kingdom. Now, Lin Tian was fighting Yamamoto Aikichi, who had killed a genius from China years ago. He should have died long ago. Lin Tian, no matter how many people cheer for you, you can't change your fate. You will lose, and you will die. Yamamoto Aikichi sneered. He gradually built up his momentum. Once he had built up his momentum, he was virtually unbeatable among his peers, especially since Lin Tian was currently unarmed. Kill. Suddenly, Yamamoto Ichi roared. He pounced on Lin Tian with the ferocity of a tiger descending a mountain. His katana slashed diagonally towards Lin Tian's neck. If this strike landed, Yamamoto Ichi was absolutely certain he could cut from Lin Tian's left neck to his right armpit. In a flash, Lin Tian casually took a step back, the tip of the katana grazing past his neck. Thud. Before Yamamoto Ichi could react, Lin Tian delivered a lightning-fast punch to his right forehead. We concede. The martial arts master from Dongying immediately declared. Lin Tian retreated to the side, not attacking again. That one punch was enough. Yamamoto Ichi staggered, completely stunned by the blow. His brain was already bleeding. Lin Tian had only used the power of a fully fledged dark force cultivator in that punch, but his control over the force was excellent. Ichi, are you alright? 3 martial arts masters from Dongying entered the dueling area. Blood was flowing from Yamamoto Ichi's ears, nose, and mouth, and he appeared dazed. Quick, take him away immediately for treatment. One of the martial arts masters ordered. Yamamoto Ichi was quickly lifted onto a stretcher, his pupils dilated rapidly, and the doctor beside him shook his head. Quick, resuscitation. The Dongying doctor immediately began emergency treatment, even using an electric shock device, but it was completely useless. Brother Lin, thank you. Thank you. As Lin Tian emerged from the dueling area, several people thanked him. They all had relatives who had suffered greatly at Yamamoto Ichi's hands. Some had broken limbs, some had even died. Everyone, please don't be so polite. Lin Tian quickly left, holding Luo Bingning's hand. I thought our China would lose to Dongying, but Liang Fei actually won, and Lin Tian even won 2 matches in a row. The most impressive one was actually a translator. 3 powerful martial artists from Dongying died at Lin Tian's hands. True masters are hidden among the common people. Many people were discussing this animatedly. Outside, Lin Tian and Luo Bingning got into the car. Lin Tian said, Bingning, I just killed 3 people. Are you scared? Luo Bingning shook her head, surprised. Killed 3 people. Are people from Dongying even considered human? Lin Tian smiled. He liked Luo Bingning's answer. Lin Tian, this news will probably spread quickly. Perhaps pro-Dongying people will cyberbully you. Luo Bingning asked worriedly. Lin Tian smiled. You're overthinking it. I reckon the authorities will definitely restrict the spread of this news. After all, we still need to develop our economy with Dongying. This kind of news spreading would be detrimental to harmony between our 2 countries. Dongying suffered a huge loss and lost face, so they'll likely also block the news. South Korea did the worst, they'll probably be happy to block this news too. Luo Bingning exclaimed in surprise, but so many people saw it. Lin Tian said, without traffic and related photos and videos, not many people will know. Luo Bingning breathed a sigh of relief. That's good. She didn't want the news to spread, that would have a significant impact on Lin Tian. Yanzi and the others said that Dongying Kingdom might have a Grand Master. Could their Grand Master be secretly targeting you? Luo Bingning asked. Lin Tian was already a thorn in the side of the Dongying Kingdom's martial artists. They would definitely seize any opportunity to strike. Lin Tian smiled slightly. Such a good thing. Luo Bingning was taken aback. This was a good thing. Chapter 124. The parents' bodyguards have arrived. Luo Bingning asked doubtfully, is this a good thing? Lin Tian nodded. Of course it's a good thing. If a martial arts Grand Master from Dongying Kingdom comes, I can send him on his way, solving a major problem for the country. Lin Tian had searched online to see if Dongying Kingdom had any martial arts Grand Masters, but found no relevant information. Such a person might be quite old and rarely use electronic devices, or Dongying Kingdom might have strict secrecy. Given what happened, Lin Tian estimated that the martial arts masters who came would likely contact the martial arts Grand Master. Bingning, can you eat? Lin Tian asked, starting the car. Luo Bingning touched her stomach. It was already past 1 o'clock. She was a little hungry, but she really had no appetite. The battle was quite brutal, blood was often splattered everywhere, requiring the floor cleaning machine to clean it 10 times or more. The impact on people was considerable. Many of the first group to leave vomited. Luo Bingning was the last to come out, and she didn't vomit, which was already quite good. I'm skipping lunch today, on a diet. Also, we'll be eating vegetarian for 3 days. Luo Bingning said with a sweet smile. Lin Tian chuckled, then you can eat vegetarian for 3 days. I'll go back and bring my parents to S City. Luo Bingning nodded. You killed someone. Your parents might find out. They won't be as worried if you go back. Okay. Lin Tian nodded. After dropping Luo Bingning off at her company, Lin Tian returned home. He turned on his computer. The youth martial arts tournament was over. If the news wasn't controlled, it would definitely be all over the place. But Lin Tian checked online, and there was absolutely no related information. Sure enough, the news was being controlled. Dongjiang country suffered terribly this time. First, Fujiwara Ueno died at Yang Fei's hands. Then the Nakamura brothers died at Lin Tian's hands. Finally, Yamamoto Ichi also perished. The Nakamura brothers are a bit less talented, but Fujiwara Ueno and Yamamoto Aikichi are exceptionally talented. If they don't die, they'll definitely become martial arts masters. Hey, not bad. Lin Tian searched the internet using hacking techniques, but even sharing this information in groups would be blocked. Japan and South Korea have also blocked related information. Beep beep. Lin Tian's phone suddenly rang. It was General Yang Zhirang calling. Lin Tian, well done. You've enhanced the reputation of Chinese martial artists, and the pent-up anger from a few years ago has been avenged. But for the sake of the bigger picture, this kind of information must be blocked. You can't make a name for yourself through this competition. Yang Zhirang said on the other end of the line. Lin Tian smiled. General Yang, if I wanted to be famous, wouldn't it be better to reveal my identity as the masked hero? Keeping it a secret is fine, I have no objection. Yang Zhirang breathed a sigh of relief. That's good. Lin Tian, during the competition you mentioned that if the people from Dongjiang Kingdom acted recklessly, a Grandmaster level expert would intervene. Do you have a martial arts Grandmaster behind you? Yang Zhirang only knew Lin Tian as a martial arts master, he didn't know Lin Tian was actually a Grandmaster. No, I am a Grandmaster. Lin Tian said calmly. On the other end of the phone, Yang Zhirang was stunned. Lin Tian was only 23 years old, could he already be a martial arts Grandmaster? Lin Tian, I'm talking about a martial arts Grandmaster. Yang Zhirang took a deep breath. Lin Tian was also a Grandmaster of the Erhu, Guqin, and Suona. Lin Tian chuckled, General Yang, I'm talking about a martial arts Grandmaster too. Can't I be a martial arts Grandmaster? Yang Zhirang's eyes widened in shock. A 23-year-old martial arts Grandmaster, it would terrify people. 1,000 or 2,000 soldiers in the city couldn't handle a martial arts Grandmaster, such a person was definitely a strategic talent. Lin Tian, you're not joking, are you? This is very important. Yang Zhirang said solemnly. Lin Tian smiled, don't worry, I'm not joking. I truly am already a martial arts Grandmaster. Good, good, that's wonderful. Yang Zhirang said with immense joy. Lin Tian, the veterans I found for you have arrived in S City. They should contact you soon. Hanging up the phone, Yang Zhirang laughed heartily. He felt immensely pleased. China now had a martial arts Grandmaster, and such a young one at that, capable of suppressing martial artists from other countries for many years. This news needs to be reported. Yang Zhirang left by car. He needed to explain to the elders in person, it wasn't appropriate to discuss it over the phone. The Yang family and Lin Tian were close, and Lin Tian was a martial arts Grandmaster. If he kept this news from his superiors, they might have reservations. Inside Lin Tian's villa. Boss, the Falcon Squad reporting for duty. 12 burly men saluted Lin Tian simultaneously. Their gazes towards Lin Tian were quite eager. They were all elites from their respective military units, even retired, they were the cream of the crop. Normally, even with high salaries, the bodyguard work hadn't motivated them much, but now they were as energetic as if they'd been injected with adrenaline. You know me? Lin Tian asked in surprise. Had Yang Zhirang told them about his identity as masked man? The leader of the group said, "Boss, my name is Shen Dong, the captain of the newly formed Falcon Squad. General Yang told us about what happened at the youth martial arts tournament. You killed 3 martial artists from Dongying Kingdom, bringing glory to your country. We're all happy to help protect your parents." Lin Tian thought to himself, so that's what they knew. My name is Yi Wei. We have comrades who died at the hands of Dongying Kingdom martial artists. We will definitely protect your parents. Another man stepped forward and said. The rest of the group quickly introduced themselves one by one. With Lin Tian's memory, he remembered them all after hearing them only once. Welcome, everyone. General Yang probably told you. The salary is 50,000 per month, no social insurance or housing fund. If you are injured or even die, there will be compensation. In the event of death, the compensation will not be less than 5 million. Lin Tian smiled. Thank you, boss. Shen Dong and the others said in unison. Lin Tian said, Shen Dong, provide me with an account number. I'll transfer all the money to your account, and you can divide it among yourselves. Besides your salaries, you'll each receive 100,000 yuan in public funds each month, which can be used to purchase necessary items. Shen Dong nodded and quickly provided Lin Tian with an account number. Shen Dong, Yi Wei, come back to the village with me. I'll stay for a couple of days and pick up my parents while I'm there. If they can get used to it, they can stay here. If they can't, you'll have to go to the village. Shen Dong and the others nodded. Shen Dong, Yi Wei, send me your ID numbers. I'll book your tickets back for tomorrow. Lin Tian said. Going back today is a bit late, it's already 3 p.m. After flying to the provincial capital, we still need to take a bus to the countryside. Shen Dong took out a stack of documents. Boss, this is the employment contract. It has all our information on it. We all have injuries, but you don't need to worry about our abilities. Lin Tian nodded. Their injuries weren't a big problem for him, but he wouldn't heal Shen Dong and the others immediately. If they perform well, treatment will definitely be no problem. If they don't perform well, then I'm sorry. In the evening, Lin Tian returned home. Luo Bingning was back, the golden treasure chest still hanging above her head. Bingning, come here, give me a hug. I have to go to my room to cultivate. After finishing dinner and washing the dishes, Lin Tian said with a smile. Luo Bingning was a little hesitant. Lin Tian reached out and hugged her. His head touched the golden treasure chest on Luo Bingning's head. Chapter 125 The Martial Arts Master of Dongying Kingdom. Ding, golden treasure chest opened. Congratulations, host, for obtaining the divine level youth preserving pill recipe. The system's voice rang in Lin Tian's mind. At the same time, a massive amount of information flooded into Lin Tian's mind. Lin Tian released Luo Bingning and returned to the master bedroom. Excitement shone in his eyes. He didn't yet understand what the divine level youth preserving pill was, but it was definitely some kind of item, meaning his treasure chest could yield other things. Besides skills, the only things he'd gotten from the treasure chest so far were system space items. Nothing else. To be honest, Lin Tian felt a little disappointed. While powerful skills were good, they were somewhat monotonous, especially since he already possessed quite a few. He wanted to cultivate a genius persona. As a top genius, he knew so many skills, but what about his research in other areas? Knowing a bunch of skills without concrete research results seemed problematic to others. System, I give you a thumbs up. Lin Tian said in his mind. With the first one, there would definitely be others, and he wouldn't need to worry about others' suspicions. The information was received quickly. With the system's help, Lin Tian rapidly digested the information. He not only obtained the formula but could also refine the youth-preserving pill according to it. Wow, this pill is amazing. Lin Tian secretly marveled. If the best materials were used and he refined it himself, the divine-grade youth-preserving pill could greatly slow down the aging process. It could probably delay aging by 30 years. A 50-year-old woman would look almost like a 20-year-old girl. Luo Bingning is 21 years old. If she takes one youth-preserving pill every year, she'll look about the same even in her 50s. Moreover, the divine-level youth-preserving pill doesn't just change appearance, it can maintain the body's functions and keep it youthful. He. Lin Tian chuckled inwardly. If Luo Bingning could maintain her current peak beauty for a long time, it would be a huge benefit for him. He himself is a grandmaster of martial arts, and he won't age much even at 50. It would be quite sad if Luo Bingning aged. It's just that the ingredients for this divine-level youth-preserving pill are not easy to find. Fortunately, there are multiple substitutes for each ingredient. Lin Tian thought to himself. The divine-level youth-preserving pill recipe isn't just one recipe, there are many recipes for this kind of pill. Since the system has given such a reward, finding all the ingredients and refining the divine-level youth-preserving pill shouldn't be a problem. The divine-level youth-preserving pill he refines can be used by Luo Bingning, his mother, and Luo Bingning's mother, his mother and Luo Bingning's mother were both over 40, so the effects of the divine-level anti-aging pills on them weren't as strong. However, they could still look several years younger. Their subsequent aging process would also be significantly slowed down. Crackling sounds. Lin Tian opened his computer and started searching. Most of the medicinal herbs could be bought directly, only a few rare herbs were more difficult to obtain. Beep beep. Lin Tian called Dean Shi. Soon, Dean Shi's hearty laughter came through. Drive. Lin, what good news have you got for me? As the dean of a top-tier hospital in S City, Dean Shi held a high position. Most people couldn't even curry favor with him, but he was happy to actively befriend someone like Lin Tian. Dean Shi, I need some medicinal herbs. You should have some connections, right? Lin Tian inquired. Dean Shi chuckled. If I didn't even have these connections, wouldn't all these years as dean have been for nothing? Dr. Lin, what kind of herbs do you need? As long as they're available on Earth, I can definitely find a way to get them for you. Many herb merchants fawned over someone like him. Lin Tian said, I'll send them to you via WeChat later. Okay. After hanging up, Lin Tian quickly sent a message to Dean Shi via WeChat. Dr. Lin, these things aren't easy to get, but I've already promised, I'll definitely get them for you. Lin Tian received a voice message from Dean Shi. Thank you very much. After confirming this, Lin Tian bypassed the Great Firewall and accessed the internet. He hacked into the phone of a martial arts master from Dongyian country. He was one of the 3 martial arts masters from Dongyian country who participated in the youth martial arts tournament. After the youth martial arts tournament ended, they hurriedly returned home. If they had performed well in the youth martial arts tournament, they might have stayed in China longer to promote themselves. Now, however, they were too ashamed to linger. Nothing happening, Lin Tian muttered. After the youth martial arts tournament, he installed monitoring programs on the phones of several martial arts masters in Dongyian country. The monitoring programs constantly listened to conversations around them. Soon, Lin Tian hacked into the second martial arts master. Still no major findings. With the third, Lin Tian's eyes lit up. This martial arts master had visited a martial arts grandmaster in Dongyian country. Before the meeting, he handed over his phone, so Lin Tian didn't know the details of the conversation through the monitoring program. Hey, Lin Tian chuckled. Through the phone's location tracking, he could know where this martial arts master was, and with other information, identifying the Dongyian country martial arts grandmaster wouldn't be a problem. Miyazaki Izuru. This place was a property he secretly acquired. Moreover, public records show he passed away 10 years ago. Lin Tian muttered to himself. His intuition told him that Miyazaki Izuru's feigned death was definitely hiding a big secret. I wonder if this guy will come looking for me. Lin Tian thought to himself. If Miyazaki Izuru came, he would have a perfect reason to kill him. The next morning, Lin Tian came out of his room, a look of surprise in his eyes. There was a black iron treasure chest above Luo Bingning's head. What's going on? Nothing happened last night, Lin Tian thought to himself. Bingning, is something on your mind? After washing up and eating breakfast, Lin Tian asked. Luo Bingning looked somewhat uneasy. Luo Bingning said weakly, Lin Tian, what if your parents don't like me when they come over? Lin Tian found it amusing that Luo Bingning was actually worried about this. Bingning, what are you worrying about? If my parents don't like you, how high would their standards be? Do you expect me to find them a royal princess as a daughter-in-law? Lin Tian said irritably. Luo Bingning glanced at Lin Tian and said in a low voice, Lin Tian, with your looks, you might actually be able to find a princess. Lin Tian reached out and pinched Luo Bingning's soft cheek. Bingning, don't think nonsense. I like you just the way you are. Slap. Who told you to pinch my cheek like that? Luo Bingning playfully slapped Lin Tian's hand away. Lin Tian chuckled, we're going to the capital in a few days to treat your master's wife again. I'm practically ready to kiss your cheek anyway, so what's wrong with pinching it now? Luo Bingning blushed. My master's wife won't be fully recovered by then. Lin Tian laughed, even if she's not completely recovered, she'll be pretty much there. She won't need any further treatment from me. Bingning, how about I come over to your house and give you a kiss then? Chapter 126 Parents were fooled and became crippled. Driver, Liuhe Village, Tianyang City. After flying back to the provincial capital, Lin Tian, Shendong, and Yue got into a taxi. Lin Tian said to the driver. The taxi driver hesitated. It was over 100 kilometers to Tianyang City, and then another 150 kilometers to the village below, a big fare, but he was hesitant to take a fare to the village. There were still 3 of them. Boss, it's so far, it's inconvenient for me to go there, the driver said hesitantly. Shendong pulled out his military ID from his pocket. Brother, we're soldiers, is it convenient now? The driver immediately felt reassured. He grinned, convenient, convenient. A friend of mine had some trouble in the village before, so I kept an eye out for him. Since you're from the People's Liberation Army, of course, no problem. The car quickly set off. 2 hours later, the car exited the highway, and Lin Tian's hometown was only a dozen kilometers away. The familiar scenery filled Lin Tian with emotion. The changes in the past month or so have been truly remarkable. He originally just wanted to live an ordinary life. Make money, buy a house, get married, have children, but unexpectedly, a marriage certificate set the wheels of fate in motion. Now he has a mansion, a luxury car, and money in his bank account. He has a beautiful and lovely wife. More importantly, he has a system, opening treasure chests and obtaining powerful skills. Even the most basic wine tasting skill, if used well, will certainly guarantee a comfortable life, if not meteoric success. Boss, let's get off here. We can walk from here and get familiar with the village. As the car reached the village entrance, Shendong said. Okay. Lin Tian nodded. He didn't tell Shendong and the others any other information. With their abilities, it would be strange if they couldn't find his house. Shendong and the others got out of the car, and the taxi drove to the vicinity of Lin Tian's house. Uncle Mo, Aunt Wang, seeing the surrounding neighbors, Lin Tian greeted them as usual. He noticed their slightly uneasy expressions, gave them a perfunctory reply, and they all went back to their rooms. Has the news reached them? Lin Tian wondered to himself. The government had imposed a statewide blockade on news of the youth martial arts tournament, but word of mouth was something that couldn't be suppressed. Although he had killed people from Donggying country, killing 3 people in one day had probably frightened the villagers. Dad, Mom, I'm home. Lin Tian called out as he reached the door, which was closed. Creak. Hearing Lin Tian's voice, the door quickly opened. His parents were home, but they had closed the door to avoid gossip. Son, why are you back? Lin Tian's mother, Chen Wan, asked in surprise. Lin Tian smiled and said, I came back to pick you up to go to S City. I'll take you on a flight. Lin Tian quickly entered the room. His father, Lin Haisheng, lit a cigarette. Son, there's a rumor going around the village today that you killed people, 3 people. There must be a mistake, right? Dad, wasn't it a bad kill? Lin Tian smiled. Lin Haisheng and Chen Wan stared blankly at Lin Tian. They thought there was a mistake. Their son wasn't a martial artist. In their minds, it must be someone with the same name. Son, did you really kill them? Chen Wan asked nervously. Lin Tian nodded. Lin Haisheng took a deep breath. Good job. I heard they were all low-level ninjas, they all deserve to die. But when did you start practicing martial arts? How come we didn't know? Chen Wan also stared at Lin Tian. Lin Tian thought to himself, he had to start convincing his parents. To make others believe him, his parents first had to believe he was a genius from a young age, but he had hidden his talent. Dad, after Einstein died, his brain was stolen and cut into 240 pieces. Lin Tian said in a deep voice. Lin Haisheng said irritably, are you trying to tell us that you're too smart and afraid of being captured and dissected? Lin Tian gave a thumbs up. Dad, you truly are the father of a modern-day Einstein. You're so smart, you figured it out right away. Lin Haisheng, when I was little, didn't I often like to go into the mountains? I wasn't just messing around, I went to practice martial arts. During the college entrance exam, I actually deliberately let myself catch a cold and get a high fever, intentionally giving myself a lower score. Lin Tian said. Lin Haisheng and Chen Wan stared speechlessly at Lin Tian. In their eyes, Lin Tian was talking nonsense with a straight face. Mom and Dad, watch this. Lin Tian said, releasing his inner energy. Under his control, several chairs around them flew up. This, Lin Haisheng and Chen Wan's eyes widened. The chair quickly hit the ground, and Lin Tian smiled. I first studied medicine, then martial arts. Combining medicine and martial arts, I now possess the strength of a Grand Master of martial arts. However, outwardly, I only display the strength of a martial arts master. Bingning only knows I have the strength of a Grand Master of martial arts. Lin Haisheng took a deep breath. Let me calm down. Half a minute later, Lin Haisheng said, I've read martial arts novels. What do these realms you mentioned represent? Lin Tian smiled slightly. There are only about 20 martial arts masters in China. Besides me, there are no Grand Masters of martial arts openly, and I don't know if there are any secretly. A top-tier Grand Master of martial arts can fight a regiment in a city. I might be able to fight a division in a city. A standard division is 10,000 men, extremely powerful, but Lin Tian wasn't exaggerating. He was a Grand Master of martial arts. Light weapons were useless against him. Heavy weapons were inconvenient to use in the city, and a Grand Master of martial arts was incredibly fast. He could also use buildings to evade attacks. Even a different martial arts Grand Master might not be able to take on a division, but don't forget Lin Tian possesses a system space. The system space has 27 cubic meters. He could easily fill the system space by sneaking into the armory. How many people would 27 cubic meters of bombs kill? Son, you're not kidding. Lin Haisheng asked incredulously. Lin Tian shook his head. Why would I lie to you? I only dare to gradually reveal some things after I've gained strength. Speaking of this, Lin Tian took out his phone and opened the Huayin app. Besides medicine and martial arts, I have another little hobby. Masked man is me. Bingning doesn't even know that. Lin Tian said. Actually, Luo Bingning already knew, but she made Lin Tian say it this way. Chen Wan said incredulously, Son, Grandmaster Lin is you. Your dad really likes watching Grandmaster Lin's videos. Lin Haisheng stared blankly at Lin Tian. He'd actually become a fan of his son. Lin Tian chuckled, that's right, this is my account. Let me show you the backend. This account has made quite a bit of money. Soon, Lin Haisheng and the others saw Lin Tian's backend. They saw the balance Lin Tian hadn't withdrawn yet. That long string of numbers made their hearts race. Dad, Mom, aren't you surprised? Unexpected, aren't you? Lin Tian said with a smile. Lin Haisheng smoked a cigarette. He needed to calm down. The shock was too great, and his brain couldn't process it all. I'll go make some tea, Chen Wan said, getting up. She needed to find something to do. She felt like she was dreaming. A while later, Chen Wan returned with the tea. Lin Haisheng finished one cigarette and lit another. You little rascal, you're so clever, keeping it from us for so long. We were worried about your job, Lin Haisheng said irritably. Lin Tian chuckled awkwardly. Dad, if I tell you these things too early, won't you be living in constant fear? I didn't know that Grandmasters were so powerful before. I haven't met any other martial artists, I only recently learned about these things. Chen Wan said, Lin Haisheng, don't talk about your son. Didn't you hear what he said at the beginning? Einstein's brain was stolen and cut into more than 200 pieces. It's only because my son knew how to be patient, otherwise, something bad would have happened long ago. Lin Haisheng nodded slightly. If he had boasted earlier, it would have been a tragedy long ago. Chen Wan asked, Son, how are things between you and Bingning now? Chapter 127 Bingning and I got our marriage certificate. Lin Tian smiled and said, We're doing great. Mom and Dad, I have something to tell you. Bingning and I got our marriage certificate. Huh? Lin Tian's parents stared at him blankly. We got our certificate the day we met. She said we'd try living together for 3 years, and if it works out, we'll continue. We feel we're both very good to each other. Chen Wan said, You didn't mention it on the phone before. Mom, it's better to say it in person. Besides, we've only been together for about a month. Her parents were against it before. Lin Tian explained. Lin Haisheng asked, does her family know about your situation? Lin Tian shook his head, her parents don't know about me yet. I haven't met them. Bingning told her parents she's doing well now, and their attitude has softened a lot. Her grandmother's death anniversary is in a few days, and her father wants me to go too. Lin Haisheng nodded. You're all grown up now, make your own decisions. Chen Wan smiled. Your dad used to object to you being with Bingning, but he's finally changed his mind. Lin Tian looked at Lin Haisheng in surprise. Dad, a girlfriend like Bingning is hard to find even with a lantern. What were you objecting to before? Lin Haisheng said irritably, you kept it a secret. What did you have that made you worthy of Bingning? The Luo family has hundreds of billions in assets. I was afraid you'd get stabbed before you even married her. Lin Haisheng used to worry about that, but now he doesn't. A martial arts grandmaster can take on an entire master. With that kind of strength, even if someone tries to cause trouble, Lin Tian won't be in any trouble. Dad, news of the youth martial arts tournament has reached the village, and the villagers' attitudes seem a bit off. Lin Tian said. Lin Haisheng took a deep drag on his cigarette. The news came back this morning that you killed 3 innocent people. At first, some people cheered. But soon rumors started circulating, saying that killing 3 people in one day was too violent and cruel. They don't even remember the 300,000 innocent souls in Nanxi back then. Chen Wan said, your dad argued with some people a bit, but then we figured it was just someone with the same name, so we gave up and just stayed home. I didn't expect it really was you. Lin Tian comforted her, Mom and Dad, don't worry too much. People in the village aren't all that kind-hearted. Some people are scheming. They don't want to see our family prosper in the village, it would affect their interests. Lin Haisheng sighed softly. That's true. Mom and Dad, someone gave me a villa. You can move to S City from now on, okay? Chen Wan asked in surprise, they gave you a villa. Villas in S City must be very expensive, right? Lin Tian laughed, aren't my medical skills pretty good? The villa was a gift from a wealthy businessman, it's worth over 100 million. Hiss. Lin Haisheng and Chen Wan gasped. They wouldn't even dare to dream of a house worth hundreds of millions. If you go to S City, you can stay there. Lin Tian said. Lin Haisheng shook his head. A short stay is fine, but we're not used to living in a villa like this long-term. You and Bingning can use this villa after you get married. Chen Wan nodded. Yes, you can use that villa for your wedding. For now, you'll still be living with Bingning, right? It's too much trouble for us to move to S City and come back. Are we just going to abandon all our relatives back home? Lin Tian frowned slightly. Lin Haisheng said, son, if you have the money, just buy us a house in the provincial capital. That way it'll be easier for you and Bingning to come back and see us, and we can come back if there's anything going on in the village. Lin Tian's eyes lit up. That was a good idea. House prices in their provincial capital weren't expensive. A villa would only cost around 10 million, and he could afford that right now. He'd already received the money from the 2 endorsements. He currently had over 16 million in his account. Mom and Dad, are you sure you don't want to go to S City? Lin Tian asked. Lin Haisheng and Chen Wan shook their heads. Lin Haisheng said, we wouldn't feel comfortable living in a villa worth hundreds of millions. Buying an ordinary house in the provincial capital will do. Lin Tian nodded. All right, then I'll buy you a house in the provincial capital. Just then, a knock sounded at the door. Lin Tian knew from the voice that it wasn't Shen Dong and his group. Lin Haisheng quickly opened the door. Outside stood Zhang Wei, the village head of Lin Tian's village. Knowing Lin Tian was back, he had rushed over. Zhang Wei was in his 50s, with a large belly. He hadn't been village head for many years, but his family had built a beautiful house, and last year he even bought an Audi. Lin Tian had heard his parents mention before that during the village head election, Zhang Wei had paid for votes. 300 yuan per household. His father didn't take the money. Instead, he gave his vote to someone else. The result was predictable. Zhang Wei won through his financial power. Haisheng. Oh, Xiao Tian's back. Zhang Wei greeted him. Lin Tian raised an eyelid, instantly releasing the aura of a martial arts grandmaster. How dare you call me, little Tian? You, Zhang Wei's face changed drastically. He stumbled back several steps and plopped down on the ground. In his eyes, Lin Tian suddenly became more terrifying than a tiger. He felt as if his very soul was trembling. Lin Tian stood up and walked towards Zhang Wei. You were the ringleader, pulling strings behind the scenes, weren't you? Lin Tian said. Zhang Wei's face turned pale. With each step Lin Tian took closer, the pressure on him increased. Zhang Wei's eyes darted around in panic. Lin Tian said indifferently, we're all from the same village, I don't want to push things too far. Village chief, you shouldn't be doing this anymore. Uncle Yang did a good job before, Uncle Yang should be the village chief from now on. Zhang Wei said in a trembling voice, the village chief is elected by everyone, not just anyone who wants to be the village chief. Lin Tian, don't do anything reckless. Lin Tian nodded slightly, you're right. Then let's send you to jail first, and then hold a new election. You embezzled more than 200,000 yuan. According to the criminal law, it should be 3 to 10 years. You'll probably have to spend your 60th birthday in jail. Sweat poured down Zhang Wei's forehead. I haven't been feeling well lately. I will fully support Brother Yang becoming the village chief. Zhang Wei said hoarsely. Lin Tian nodded slightly, his imposing aura instantly disappearing. Huff. Zhang Wei gasped for breath, looking at Lin Tian in fear. Lin Tian actually had such a strong aura. Get lost. Lin Tian waved his hand impatiently. Zhang Wei slunk away. Lin Haisheng said, son, he must have embezzled a lot. Wouldn't letting him off so easily be too lenient? Lin Tian smiled and said, let him support Uncle Yang to become the village chief first, then we'll secretly have someone deal with him. His family has good relationships with some people. If we openly deal with him, some people will probably gossip behind his back. Second uncle and uncle are still in the village. Lin Haisheng nodded. Lin Tian's approach was indeed better. Wasn't there supposed to be a martial arts live stream? It's been a week, why hasn't Master Lin streamed yet? Lin, you lazy bum, hurry up and stream. We're getting impatient. The martial arts manual I ordered from Taobao arrived, eagerly awaiting the stream. Lin Tian's comment section is filled with casual comments every day. Many people are eagerly anticipating his martial arts live stream. These guys are urging me every day. Looks like I'll have to arrange a martial arts live stream for them. Lin Tian muttered to himself. He was looking at the green mountains behind the house. He used to go to the mountains often when he was a child. He would help his family gather firewood, pick wild fruits, or secretly bring martial arts novels to read in the back mountains. As for practicing martial arts, does swinging a straight stick a few times, whipping wildflowers and weeds, or shooting birds with a slingshot count? Mom, it's been so long since I've been to the back mountains, I'm going to go take a look. Lin Tian said to his mother, Chen Wan. Chen Wan replied, no one goes into the mountains now. The paths are overgrown with grass, making it difficult to get in. I have a plan. Be back before dinner. Lin Tian quickly headed towards the back of the mountain. He had already told his parents about Shen Dong and Yi Hui's arrival. His parents would make arrangements. It really is completely deserted. Lin Tian muttered to himself. When he was a child, many people went up the mountain every day. Now, the only time a few people go was during the year-round grave sweeping season. Lin Tian's gaze swept across the area. He was in a mountain hollow, where no one could see him. As for the surrounding area, if anyone was hiding, his ears, as a martial arts grandmaster, weren't just sitting there for show. Whoosh! Lin Tian suddenly took flight. He leapt several meters across the leaves, a feat entirely within his current strength. The mountain breeze billowed Lin Tian's clothes, bringing him immense comfort. He couldn't do this in the city. The city was teeming with people and surveillance cameras. Awesome. In a dozen or so breaths, Lin Tian reached the mountaintop. Behind his home were continuous green mountains, a small hill he climbed every year. His family's ancestral graves were here. His grandfather's grave was naturally here too. Soon, Lin Tian arrived at his grandfather's grave. He took out incense, candles, and paper money from his system space. He had prepared these back in S City. Returning to his hometown, he naturally had to pay respects to his grandfather. If it weren't for the engagement arranged by his grandfather, even with the system, he wouldn't be able to activate it without meeting Luo Bingning. Grandpa, I just wanted to tell you that Bingning and I are married, but we haven't held a banquet yet. After we have the banquet, I'll bring Bingning to visit you. Lin Tian knelt before his grandfather's grave, burning paper money. After the paper money finished burning, Lin Tian stood up. He looked around. Strange, the feng shui of this place is very ordinary. Lin Tian muttered to himself. He was a grandmaster of feng shui. According to his understanding, with such feng shui, the descendants should be ordinary, but he was definitely not ordinary now. Damn it. After a while, Lin Tian slapped his forehead. He had been so stupid. He had obtained a system, how could the influence of a feng shui arrangement compare to the system? Grandpa, I'll come to visit you again later. Lin Tian flew away quickly on a leaf. He soon reached deeper into the mountains. While people occasionally ventured into the outer mountains, those in the inner mountains might remain untouched for 3 to 5 years. Thank goodness, there's still a signal. As expected, Xiaoyao is ahead. Lin Tian muttered. He took out a new set of clothes from his system space. This outfit was a traditional costume with a fantasy martial arts theme. His original hanfu was suitable for playing the Erhu or Guqin, but not so much for a martial arts livestream. After getting ready, Lin Tian quickly started his livestream. He didn't do any pre-stream promotion. Even so, as soon as Lin Tian's livestream started, many people quickly flooded into the chat room. Lin Tian's fan base was now approaching 40 million. Wow, what did I just see? Grandmaster Lin launched a surprise attack, secretly starting a livestream. Grandmaster Lin, where is this? This outfit is different, is it really Grandmaster Lin? Many comments quickly appeared in the livestream room. Huayin headquarters. Boss, Master Lin's live streaming. And this time, he's chosen the wilderness as his location. One of Zhang Han's men shouted. Zhang Han's eyes lit up. He quickly reported the news. They needed to ensure a high viewership for Lin Tian's livestream. Huayin had signed an SS-level contract with Lin Tian, in a university dormitory. Holy crap, guys, stop playing. Master Lin's live streaming. A martial arts livestream in the wilderness. A young man lying in bed scrolling through his phone yelled. Master Lin didn't even give us a heads up. The game's just started. What's the point of playing? Let's quit. Tell our friends on the other side, they'll understand. The players quickly logged off, and their opponents, upon receiving the news, also logged off immediately. One of them even ran into the hallway shouting, Brothers, Master Lin's live streaming. Charge. The rest of the dormitories, having received the news, quickly flooded into the livestream room. Throughout the country, news of Lin Tian's livestream spread rapidly. In just 2 minutes, his live stream had hundreds of thousands of viewers. This martial arts live stream was highly anticipated. This guy, he ran home to start a live stream. Luo Bingning muttered. Tang Yan told her that Master Lin had started streaming, so she cancelled a less important meeting to watch the live stream. Tang Yan now knew that Lin Tian was skilled in martial arts, but she hadn't connected Lin Tian with Master Lin. Master Lin was a master in Erhu, Guqin, and Suona, and Lin Tian was only 23 years old. Online predictions about Master Lin's age ranged from 30 or 40 to 40 or 50. Almost no one guessed he was in his 20s. A triple master, a grandmaster in martial arts, and Master Lin in his 20s, it all defied common sense. Everyone, there are quite a few people here, so let's begin, Lin Tian said with a smile to the phone camera. I went to the mountains for this live stream, and I didn't even bring my Erhu, Guqin, or Suona. Let's just chat casually. What do you want to see? What do you want to know? Countless comments flooded the screen. How old am I? Lin Tian laughed. I didn't expect you guys to be interested in that. You'd never guess my age. Because I'm a martial arts grandmaster. I can live to be 160 years old without a problem, but my exact age is a secret I won't reveal. Many viewers watching the live stream stared wide-eyed in disbelief. Master Lin was actually a martial arts grandmaster. A quadruple grandmaster. Wrong, we were all wrong. Master Lin is probably well past his 30s or 40s, he might be 70 or 80. That makes sense, Master Lin being a quadruple grandmaster. Countless comments flooded the screen. Countless gifts also appeared. The people sending spaceships weren't just 1 or 2. Some of these people were martial artists, they knew very well what a martial arts grandmaster represented. There were no officially recognized martial arts grandmasters in China. A martial arts grandmaster was a martial arts overlord. How powerful is a martial arts grandmaster? Many similar questions appeared in the comments. Lin Tian smiled slightly. Is catching a bullet with your hand impressive? The live stream now had over 1 million viewers, all utterly astonished by Lin Tian's words. Wow, a martial arts master can catch bullets. This reminds me of Stephen Chow's Fire Cloud Evil God. Master Lin, give us a demonstration. Countless comments flooded the live stream. Lin Tian chuckled, family, I don't have a gun for you to test this with, but a martial arts master can definitely withstand pistol bullets. He had a pistol, but he couldn't use it carelessly. Testing this in the live stream would put Hua Yin in a difficult position, should she ban his live stream. Yang Zhurang and the others would also be helpless. We gave you a gun, not for you to play around with. Family, let me test this with you. Lin Tian plucked a long, thin blade of grass. Go. With the aid of his internal energy, the grass shot out at lightning speed, instantly piercing a tree as thick as a bowl. Lin Tian approached, phone in hand. Millions of people clearly saw the thatch piercing through the trees. We're numb, everyone in our dorm is numb. My neck is definitely not as hard as this tree, which means Master Lin could kill me with just a blade of grass. I was just wondering if Master Lin could stop a bullet, but now it seems he might have been a bit conservative. The chat was incredibly frenzied, and every second, many people were sending gifts. Family, I promised you I'd show you my light-footed skills during the outdoor livestream. Now, let me show you this. Lin Tian put his phone down, and in front of the camera, he lightly touched the ground with his toes, easily leaping 3 zhong approximately 10 meters into the air. Then, he effortlessly glided from one tree to another. Millions of people in the livestream were stunned. Newton, who am I? Where am I? I can't imagine what it would be like if Master Lin participated in the Olympics. Lin Tian circled through the bushes and was back in front of his phone. He laughed, family, let me show you the speed of a martial arts grandmaster from a first-person perspective. With that, Lin Tian sped forward. 60 or 70 kilometers per hour. Such speed was terrifying in the jungle. Suddenly, Lin Tian's body leapt into the air. He reached the treetops and strode forward at high speed. Countless viewers watching the live stream were dumbfounded. Somewhere in southwest China. Dad, our family has had grandmasters before. Was our ancestor that powerful? A young man in training clothes asked. Father and son were watching the live stream together. His father took a deep breath and shook his head. No, ordinary grandmasters are definitely not that powerful. Grandmaster Lin is not only a martial arts grandmaster, but he's probably been a grandmaster for 20 or 30 years. The young man said incredulously, Dad, then Grandmaster Lin became a grandmaster before he was 50. The middle-aged man nodded. Very likely. There's also another possibility. Master Lin might be over 100 years old. He's just playing around in the world like a playful old man. The young man was utterly shocked. At the same time, in many other parts of China, numerous other martial artists were also stunned. Dad, what kind of strength is that? Yang Fei asked. He was watching the live stream with several members of his family. Yang Fei's father, Yang De, took a deep breath and said, 100%, it's more than just the early stage of Grandmaster. The possibility of a mid-stage Grandmaster is also very low. It's more likely a late-stage Grandmaster, with a small chance of a perfect Grandmaster. Senior Lin must be a powerful figure behind Lin Tian. No wonder Lin Tian dared to kill 3 people from Dongying Kingdom. Yang Fei was puzzled. He had previously suspected that Lin Tian was the masked man, because he knew Lin Tian was a martial arts grandmaster. Now that he knew the masked man might be a late-stage grandmaster, Yang Fei had some doubts. The difference between the early stage of grandmaster and the late stage or perfect grandmaster is actually quite large. Lin Tian reaching the early stage of grandmaster is already incredibly impressive. This masked man might be Brother Lin's master. Yang Fei thought to himself. About half a minute later, Lin Tian descended from the treetop. Family, did you see the wire work? Being swayed back and forth like that makes me dizzy. It wasn't easy being an actor in those old martial arts TV shows. Lin Tian said with a chuckle. The live stream now had 2 to 3 million viewers. I'm pretending I saw it. At that speed, wouldn't the wires kill someone? I'd believe Master Lin if he said he could fly from now on. The live stream was incredibly lively. The donations kept climbing. Most viewers never donate during live streams. They don't even bother with a free like. But now, many of them were quietly recharging their accounts. Fan old rascal sent 300 spaceships. Fan third master Shen sent 200 spaceships. Old master Shen and Shen Wanchen hadn't seen the live stream immediately, but they had witnessed the scene. Third master, what are your thoughts? Old master Shen asked. Shen Wanchen took a deep breath and said, as long as we cling to Grandmaster Lin's coattails, our Shen family can be guaranteed 100 years of peace. It's not bad that you have this kind of awareness. Old Shen nodded slightly. He sighed. Lin Tian was already a martial arts grandmaster at 23, and he himself said he'd have no problem living to 160. Do you think he can become a grandmaster of martial arts later? Shen Wanchen nodded, definitely. Old Shen said, at that time, he'll probably live to 200 or 300, and maybe even another 200. Hiss. Shen Wanchen gasped. Grandmaster Lin is incredibly strong in martial arts. Has superb medical skills, and excels in everything else. We can't even imagine his future. Old Shen said with deep emotion, call your elder brothers back, I need to give them a good talking to. Okay. Shen Wanchen nodded. Somewhere in Donggying country, Miyazaki Izuru silently watched Lin Tian's live stream. Lin Tian's live stream lasted only a little over half an hour. Temporarily cancel all plans targeting Lin Tian, Miyazaki Izuru said in a deep voice. Father, you may not be weaker than him, a middle-aged man in front of Miyazaki Izuru said. Miyazaki Izuru shook his head, one must know one's own limitations. I am no match for this Grandmaster Lin right now. He could kill me within 10 moves. The middle-aged man's expression changed. Miyazaki Izuru said in a deep voice, when your strength is insufficient, never bring great trouble to the empire. Also, relocate the base. The middle-aged man hesitated. Father, isn't this base quite safe? Miyazaki Izuru shook his head, don't be careless. Those who achieve great things must be extremely cautious. I feel this base is no longer very safe. We need a safe environment to complete Project Sunrise. The middle-aged man nodded. A glint of light flashed in Miyazaki Izuru's eyes. If Project Sunrise succeeds, I will personally kill this Master Lin. With his flesh and blood, our plan will proceed much more smoothly. H Province, Xincheng, High-Tech Zone. Dad, what's wrong? I had a dinner party, but you told me to come back without saying why. Lu Changxin, the district head of the High-Tech Zone, asked upon arriving home. Lu Changxin's father, Lu Guohong, frowned. You're the district head now, can't I let you come home if I don't have something to say? Dad, what are you saying? No matter how high my rank rises, I'm still your son, aren't I? Lu Changxin smiled, changing his shoes. Lu Guohong said, don't change your shoes, come with me. This is of great significance to our entire Lu family. Lu Changxin was puzzled, but he trusted his father completely. His position as district head was inseparable from his father's connections and insight. Dad, what is it? The driver started the car, and Lu Changxin asked. We're going to Liuhe village in Tianyang City to meet a young man named Lin Tian. You'd better be even more polite to him than to me. Lu Guohong said. Lu Changxin stared blankly for a moment. It'll probably take us more than 2 hours to get there, and it'll be dark by then. He, as the district head, was at least a deputy director level official. His father was in his 70s, were they really going to travel that far to meet a young man? Take a look at this. Lu Guohong handed his phone to Lu Changxin. Lu Changxin watched a recorded live video. Dad, isn't this a movie? Lu Changxin asked incredulously. The video Lu Guohong showed him was of Lin Tian leaping through the forest and rapidly traversing the treetops. It's real. The Master Lin in the video is a martial arts grandmaster. The Lin Tian we're going to meet is very likely his disciple. He might have reached the level of a martial arts master. Lu Guohong said. Lu Changxin asked doubtfully, Dad, I know you used to love martial arts, and you still practice occasionally. But is it really necessary for us to travel all this way to see a young man like Lin Tian just because of that? Lu Guohong said calmly, do you know what a martial arts grandmaster represents? Lu Changxin shook his head. His father loved martial arts and reached the dark force level in middle age, but his interests didn't lie in that area. Lu Guohong said, our country didn't officially have any martial arts grandmasters. Grandmaster Lin is the only one now. Lu Changxin still didn't quite understand. For martial artists, having a martial arts grandmaster in China means their path to becoming a grandmaster is much smoother. If they don't understand something, they can ask someone. For the country, a martial arts grandmaster has a very strong deterrent effect, making martial artists from other countries much more discreet. Lu Guohong explained. Lu Changxin understood somewhat, but he still asked doubtfully, Dad, is the deterrent effect of a martial arts grandmaster really that strong? Lu Guohong nodded. Are our country's fighter jets, warships, and missiles strong? Lu Changxin smiled and said, Of course. Our military strength has developed significantly in recent years, especially our navy, which is expanding rapidly. Lu Guohong said calmly, however, these national treasures cannot be used lightly, using them could easily trigger war. Martial arts grandmasters are different. A martial arts grandmaster can easily make someone disappear from the face of the earth. Lu Changxin pondered, the nation and martial arts families will both attach great importance to Grandmaster Lin, this martial arts grandmaster. Lu Guohong nodded slightly. We can't directly contact someone like Grandmaster Lin, but Lin Tian is from H province. Now that he's successful, his parents might move. Lu Changxin's eyes lit up. If his parents move to our high-tech zone, we'll have plenty of opportunities to interact. Dad, you're amazing. Lu Guohong said, if we go now, we should be able to get there first. By tomorrow, it'll definitely be too late. I'm definitely not the only one paying attention to this. Lu Changxin nodded. If Grandmaster Lin's influence is that great, and Lin Tian is likely Grandmaster Lin's disciple, there must be more than one person trying to establish that connection. 2 hours later, Lu Changxin and his group arrived near Lin Tian's house. It was already dark. Lin Tian and his family had just finished dinner not long ago. Dad, it seems we're in luck. Lu Changxin breathed a sigh of relief and smiled. They had talked a lot on the way, and Lu Changxin now deeply understood just how powerful a martial arts grandmaster was. Moreover, Master Lin is a 4-time grandmaster. Besides martial arts, he's skilled in other areas as well, and his network of connections is even wider. Lin Tian opened the door and went outside. A car pulled up not far from their house. Lu Guohong and Lu Changxin took cigarettes and alcohol from the trunk and walked towards Lin Tian's house. They had bought them on the way. You are, Lin Tian asked Yehuoda. Lu Guohong smiled and said, Master Lin, I used to be involved in the martial arts world, and I barely reached the dark force level back then. Lin Tian shook his head. I'm not some Master Lin. Please come in. Lu Guohong and the others entered the room. It wasn't long before Lin Tian figured out their identities, and he roughly guessed their purpose. Lin Tian seemed thoughtful. He wanted to buy a house for his parents in the provincial capital, and the high-tech zone was a good choice. Having connections would make things easier. District Chief Lu, do you want my parents to live in the high-tech zone? Lin Tian asked directly. Lu Changxin quickly replied, Lin Tian, for special talents, we can provide talent-guaranteed housing. Lin Tian shook his head. That's not necessary. I plan to buy my parents a second-hand villa in the provincial capital. The price should be between 10 million and 15 million. A decent quality neighborhood, the kind you can move into immediately. Lu Changxin patted his chest and said, Lin Tian, leave this to me. I'll definitely give you accurate information by tomorrow morning. Half an hour later, Lu Guohong and the others left, satisfied. Lin Tian was also quite satisfied. His parents would be living in the provincial capital, and with Lu Changxin looking after them, it would save them a lot of trouble. Moreover, the apartment Lu Changxin helped find would be much better, making his parents much more comfortable. His hometown was here, his roots were here, and he needed to develop some connections in H province. Son, they might be trying to take advantage of you. If it will do you any harm, then we shouldn't live in the high-tech zone. Chen Wan said. Lin Tian smiled. They're not qualified to take advantage of me, nor are they qualified to cause me harm. Lin Haisheng said, you decide for yourself. Your mother and I combined probably don't even have as high an IQ as you. The night passed. Early in the morning, Lin Tian received a WeChat message from Lu Changxin. He spent the entire night finding 3 houses for them and personally inspected them. All 3 were quite nice. Lu Changxin sent several photos of the 3 houses. Mom and Dad, which one do you like? Lin Tian asked. Lin Haisheng and his family already knew Lin Tian was going to buy them a villa, and they quickly chose one. The total price was 11.8 million. Lin Tian took Lin Haisheng and his family to the provincial capital. After seeing it in person, Lin Tian and his family immediately finalized the deal. The transfer of ownership was completed that afternoon. Lin Haisheng and Chen Wan were a little incredulous. This villa was already very, very good for them. They never imagined they would one day live in a villa. Shen Dong, Yi Wei, I'm taking my parents to S City for a few days. You guys decide what to pack. Lin Tian said to Shen Dong and Yi Wei. Yes, boss. Shen Dong and Yi Wei nodded. At S City Airport, Luo Bingning waited in the parking lot. She had driven Lin Tian's Cullinan over. She looked rather nervous. Before Lin Tian left yesterday, she had a black iron treasure chest above her head. Now it had transformed into a silver one. However, the upgrade wasn't solely due to meeting Lin Tian's parents. Lin Tian's live stream yesterday also played a role. Beep beep. Luo Bingning called Tang Yan. Bingning, are you still nervous? You're so outstanding, there won't be any problems. Tang Yan said somewhat helplessly. She and Luo Bingning had talked quite a bit last night. In her opinion, with Luo Bingning's qualities, why would she need to be nervous? Looks, talent, family background, Luo Bingning was exceptionally outstanding. Yanzi, I forgot something. Lin Tian said he's already told his parents about our marriage. What should I call them when we meet? Luo Bingning asked. Tang Yan paused. This also stumped her. If there's no love, even with a marriage certificate, calling them uncle and aunt is fine. If there's love, a marriage certificate doesn't matter. Luo Bingning and Lin Tian had a relationship and got their marriage certificate. Bingning, I don't have experience with this, I can't give you advice. Ask Lin Tian later. He'll turn on his phone after he gets off the plane. Luo Bingning sighed softly. Okay then, I'll talk to you later. Lin Tian's plane is about to land. Luo Bingning hung up the phone. Bingning, we've gotten off the plane. 5 minutes later, Luo Bingning received a WeChat message from Lin Tian. Luo Bingning quickly messaged Lin Tian to ask. Lin Tian replied with a smile, we've got our marriage certificate, of course you have to call us Dad and Mom, don't you want to? No, but, Luo Bingning sent a wronged emoji. She didn't even have a wedding yet. Just kidding. We've only registered our marriage, we're not officially married yet. You can just call them uncle and auntie. According to our custom, you only call them mom and dad after receiving the red envelope on the wedding day. Lin Tian quickly sent another message. Luo Bingning breathed a long sigh of relief upon seeing the message. I'll hit you. She quickly sent Lin Tian a head-knocking emoji. Lin Tian immediately replied with a kissing emoji. You bad guy. Luo Bingning muttered to herself. S City's airport is huge, and Luo Bingning waited quite a while before Lin Tian arrived with his parents. Seeing Luo Bingning, Chen Wan's eyes lit up. What a beautiful girl. Luo Bingning was already extremely beautiful, but she dressed beautifully today to meet Lin Tian's parents and even got her hair done. Her beauty was simply off the charts. Hello, uncle and auntie, I'm Bingning. You've come all this way, thank you for your hard work. Auntie, these are flowers for you. Luo Bingning handed a large bouquet of flowers to Lin Tian's mother, Chen Wan. Chen Wan beamed. Her son was so lucky. Bingning, thank you. Auntie has seen your photos online, you're even more beautiful in person than in the pictures. Chen Wan said with a smile. Lin Tian smiled and said, Bingning, you sit in the back with mom and chat, dad can sit in the front passenger seat. Okay. Luo Bingning nodded. Soon, Lin Tian and the others got into the car. Lin Haisheng and Chen Wan were a little reserved. The car looked very expensive. Besides, it was their first time meeting Luo Bingning, and they were a little nervous sitting in the same car. Lin Tian laughed. Dad, didn't I say someone gave me a villa? This car came with it. Would you like to drive it? Lin Haisheng said irritably. I don't even have a driver's license, and this car looks very expensive. Lin Tian joked, this car is worth tens of millions, which is a bit expensive for me, but there's a rich woman in the back. How about Bingning gives you one? Luo Bingning's eyes lit up. Uncle, giving you one is no problem. You don't need a driver's license, there will be a driver. Lin Haisheng quickly said, Bingning, don't listen to Lin Tian's nonsense. You brat, drive carefully. This change of pace lightened the atmosphere in the car considerably, and Chen Wan and the others in the back started chatting. The more they chatted, the more satisfied Chen Wan became. A daughter-in-law like this is hard to find even with a lantern. Fortunately, she now knew her son was quite outstanding. Otherwise she would have become increasingly insecure the longer they talked. Over an hour later, Lin Tian drove to the villa Zhao Shangulin had given him. Lin Haisheng and Chen Wan were astonished. The villa Lin Tian had bought for them in Xingcheng was quite nice, but it paled in comparison to this one. The renovations for this villa alone cost more than that one. Mom and Dad, what do you think of this villa? You can stay here if you like. Lin Tian led Lin Haisheng and Chen Wan inside. Lin Haisheng and Chen Wan both shook their heads. Lin Haisheng said, "This villa is very high-end, but too much luxury makes it less comfortable." Chen Wan smiled, "We're fine living in Xingcheng, but if you and Bingning have a child, we can come and help take care of the baby." "That's fine." Lin Haisheng nodded. Luo Bingning blushed. Lin Tian coughed lightly and said, "Mom, we're still young. Let's enjoy a few years of just the two of us. We'll talk about children later. If Luo Bingning's illness isn't cured, she's simply not suited to have children. The baby will inevitably die. Her dantian is located in her abdomen. Even Luo Bingning can barely withstand the bursts of cold energy, a baby simply can't. Uncle and Auntie, I'll go cook." Luo Bingning had already bought the groceries. "Bingning, you can cook. Auntie will help you," Chen Wan said with a smile. The two chatted and laughed as they went into the kitchen. "Dad, is Bingning doing well?" Lin Tian asked with a smile. Lin Haisheng nodded. "Indeed, it's perfect. You'll have to thank your grandfather properly later. I didn't expect the marriage your grandfather arranged for you to be so good." Lin Tian smiled. "I've already thanked Grandpa." "Dad, don't you like the Erhu? There's a recreation room on the third floor. I'll play a few tunes for you." Lin Haisheng shook his head. "The scenery in this neighborhood is nice. Come with me for a walk first." Lin Tian nodded. Leaving the villa, Lin Haisheng said, "Son, you need to get Bingning's parents' approval as soon as possible. You should hold the wedding sooner." Lin Tian said, "I'm tentatively planning for March or April next year." Lin Haisheng shook his head. "It's only September now. The wedding banquet is 6 months away. If Bingning's parents have no objections by then, you should hold the wedding sooner." Lin Tian frowned slightly. This year, time is extremely tight. The Luo family definitely needs to hold a wedding banquet in the capital, and it gets quite cold there at the end of October. Wearing a wedding dress could easily lead to an accident for Luo Bingning. If the wedding is held this year, they only have about a month left. Early next year, January or February, is also unsuitable. In Lin Tian's opinion, April next year would be the most suitable time, when the weather will be warmer. "Dad, I'll go to the capital in a few days and see what Bingning's parents think," Lin Tian said. Lin Haisheng nodded. Beep beep. Lin Tian's phone suddenly rang. It was an unknown number. "Hello." Lin Tian answered the phone. "Lin Tian, this is Bingning's father, Luo Hongchuan." Lin Tian was stunned. It was his father-in-law calling. What to do? "Wait online, it's urgent. It's been a month since he married Luo Bingning, and Luo Hongchuan and his family haven't come over. This is the first phone call he's received. To say he's not worried at all would be a lie. If he didn't care about Luo Bingning, he wouldn't need to care what Luo Hongchuan and his family think, but he's already committed to her. His father-in-law's opinion is quite important. Of course, if Luo Hongchuan's attitude continues to be bad, then he can't blame him. Anyway, Luo Bingning has already chosen him. They've already registered their marriage, they're legally married. Uncle Luo, can't you get through to Bingning on the phone?" Lin Tian asked. Luo Hongchuan said, "Bingning said your parents are in S City. Give the phone to your dad, I'll talk to him." "Uncle Luo, please wait a moment." Lin Tian covered the phone with his hand and said to Lin Haisheng beside him, "Dad, it's Bingning's father on the phone. This is the first time he's called me, and he's looking for you. Don't panic, your son is a grandmaster of martial arts, the Luo family's billions are nothing to me." Lin Tian handed the phone to his father. Lin Haisheng waved for Lin Tian to walk away. Lin Tian quickly walked away. Even if he was far away, he could still hear clearly. "Hello, is this my in-law?" Lin Haisheng said. Lin Tian. His father was really direct, saying, "In-law," like that so bluntly. He wondered what old Luo on the other end was thinking. "Brother Haisheng, it's me. It's been 12 years since we last met. So much time has passed. Bingning and the others are all married now." Luo Hongchuan said with a sigh on the other end of the phone. Lin Haisheng said, "Indeed, a long time has passed. It's fate that Lin Tian and Bingning are together. Luo Hongquan said, Brother Haisheng, I'm just calling to say I don't have anything important to say. Have a good time in S City. Bingning and the others are our juniors, let them show them respect. After chatting for a while, Luo Hongquan and the others hung up. Lin Tian approached, and Lin Haisheng asked in surprise, Son, Bingning's parents have no idea about your situation. Lin Tian nodded. I guess so. They're in the capital. Bingning didn't say anything. Unless they have someone investigate me, they probably don't know. Lin Haisheng said with a touch of emotion, they know nothing, yet they still manage to accept you. That's quite good. It's very likely that Bingning has spoken highly of you privately. Bingning is a good girl, don't let her down. Lin Tian nodded. The capital. Luo Bingning's mother, Shu Yin, was beside Luo Hongquan. Luo Hongquan hung up the phone, and she asked, how did it go? Luo Hongquan pondered, Bingning told me before that if Lin Tian's father objected, she wanted me to speak on his behalf. Now it seems Lin Tian's father didn't object. He directly called me in-laws. Shu Yin. Lin Tian and Luo Bingning have registered their marriage, so calling each other in-laws is acceptable. Both men and women can call each other in-laws after engagement. Honey, how about we go to S City? Shu Yin said. Luo Hongquan shook his head slightly. Lin Tian will be here in a few days. Let's meet him then and see what happens. Going now, if Lin Tian has any major flaws that are unacceptable, it might be awkward meeting his parents. Shu Yin nodded. They had previously investigated Lin Tian, and the results showed that while he was ordinary, he didn't have any major vices. However, investigations might be inaccurate, and as parents, they still needed to meet Lin Tian in person to properly assess their daughter. With their experience and discernment, they believed they could easily uncover any problems with Lin Tian. Honey, didn't you recommend Master Lin to me? I saw a comment in his comment section. Master Lin seems to have a disciple also named Lin Tian. Shu Yin said. Luo Hongquan chuckled. Lin Tian is such a common name, could it be the same person? I heard from a client that this Lin Tian is quite skilled. He might already be a martial arts master at such a young age. Shu Yin shook her head. I was just saying, of course I know they can't be the same person. Bingning, did you make all of this? Lin Haisheng exclaimed in amazement as Lin Tian and the others returned. Several dishes were already laid out on the table. Every dish looked delicious. Chen Wan said, if Bingning didn't make it, did I? I wish my cooking looked as good as Bingning's. 10 minutes later, the last 2 dishes were ready. Dad, I'll have a drink with you. Lin Tian smiled, opening a bottle of motai. At first, he didn't know, but later he discovered there was a wine cellar under the villa, containing a considerable amount of fine wine. Those wines were probably worth millions. He had called Zhao Shanggulan, asking him to move the wine, but Zhao Shanggulan wouldn't do something so foolish. Auntie, shall I have some red wine with you? Luo Bingning asked. Sure, I'm having a good time today. Chen Wan smiled, she usually didn't drink. Luo Bingning handed a bottle of red wine to Lin Tian, who took it, reached for the bottle, and the cork was sucked out by his powerful internal energy. Soon, the 4 of them started eating. Bingning, your cooking is amazing. Chen Wan's eyes lit up. Luo Bingning's cooking was indeed excellent. It's really very good. Hotel chef level. Lin Haisheng praised after tasting a few dishes. Luo Bingning said happily, Uncle and Aunt, if you like it, please eat more. Aunt, please try this. After the meal, Lin Tian felt that his daughter-in-law, Luo Bingning, was no longer as important as his son. His parents were completely won over. After dinner, Chen Wan insisted on washing the dishes. Beep beep. Lin Tian's phone rang. It was Din Shi calling. Din Shi. Lin Tian went to the balcony to answer the phone. On the other end of the phone, Din Shi said apologetically, drive. Lin, I'm sorry, some of the medicinal herbs you need are very rare, and I only found a small amount for you. Finding more might take quite a while. Lin Tian said, Din Shi, could you take a picture and send it to me? Sure. After hanging up, Lin Tian quickly received the photo. He was overjoyed. While some rare medicinal herbs were indeed scarce, the amount needed for each herb wasn't actually that large. The amount Din Shi found could be used to refine about 10 youth preservation pills. If he'd personally refined the youth preservation pills, the effects would be potent. 1 pill per person per year would suffice. It's worth mentioning that men can also take this elixir. though its effects will be less pronounced. Men are more concerned with their physical strength, whether they look older is less of an issue. Dean Shi, how much did it cost in total? Lin Tian inquired via message. Dean Shi replied, it didn't cost much, drive. Lin, give me the rest of the money when you find more. Alright. Dean Shi, I'll come pick up the medicinal herbs tomorrow. I need more of these, please continue to collect them for me. Lin Tian said. After hanging up, Dean Shi smiled. He felt it was very good to have a relationship with Lin Tian. He knew about the youth martial arts tournament. Lin Tian was skilled in both medicine and martial arts, and Grandmaster Lin was likely his master. Uncle and aunt, we'll come back to visit you tomorrow. Mom and dad, please get some rest. Lin Tian and Luo Bingning drove away from the villa. There were rooms available, but not many blankets or anything like that had been prepared, so they wouldn't be staying there that night. Honey, how are my parents? Are they easy to get along with? Lin Tian asked with a smile. Luo Bingning nodded. Auntie is quite talkative, but your dad is a bit quiet. Does that mean he doesn't like me? Lin Tian shook his head. That's just my dad's personality. You'll understand later. He doesn't dislike you at all. He even called your dad on the phone, referring to them as in-laws. Huh. Luo Bingning was taken aback. Lin Tian's father had spoken to her father on the phone. When did this happen? Before dinner, we went for a walk. He was telling me to treat you well, and then your dad called. Lin Tian pouted. I thought my father-in-law was calling for me, but it turns out it was for my dad. Luo Bingning giggled. You have a problem with that. Aren't you afraid my dad called to cause you trouble? Lin Tian glanced at Luo Bingning. Bingning, do you think I'm scared? Lin Tian asked with a smile. Luo Bingning blushed. Whether Lin Tian was scared depended on whether he had fallen in love with her. How would I know if you're scared? Luo Bingning said coquettishly. Lin Tian drove with his left hand and placed his right hand on the center console, palm up. Luo Bingning looked at Lin Tian's hand, then slowly reached out her left hand and clasped his right. A warm feeling welled up in her heart. Silence spoke volumes. Bingning, can you take mom and dad shopping by yourself tomorrow? I'm probably busy all day with something. Lin Tian said. He had the medicinal herbs, he needed to refine the youth preservation pill, one of which would be his mother's birthday present. Her birthday was the day after tomorrow. Sure, I'm the boss anyway, I'll give myself a day off. I'll work overtime at the company tonight. Luo Bingning said. About half an hour later, Lin Tian and the others returned home. Lin Tian looked up at Luo Bingning's head. The silver treasure chest still hadn't gone up. This treasure chest has been there for almost 2 days. Should I wait a little longer, or should I take it now? Lin Tian thought to himself. The silver treasure chest was quite valuable, it would be heartbreaking if it disappeared tomorrow. Grandmaster level martial arts, Grandmaster level ancient medicine, Grandmaster level feng shui, and a divine level anti-aging pill can all help Bingning. She should have no problem getting through this winter. The golden treasure chest isn't so urgent. Lin Tian muttered to himself. He reached out and gave Luo Bingning a gentle pat on the head. Wife, I'm going back to my room. Be good, okay. You've messed up my hair. Luo Bingning said shyly, her face slightly flushed. Lin Tian chuckled. I'm looking forward to the day you say, honey, you're touching my hair. Luo Bingning. Ding. Silver treasure chest opened. Congratulations, host, you have obtained the Grandmaster level disguise skill. The system's voice rang in Lin Tian's mind. Lin Tian returned to his room. A flood of information poured into his mind, but the silver treasure chest was something Lin Tian could handle now. Impressive. Lin Tian inwardly praised himself after digesting the skill. Grandmaster level hacking skills were likely world-class, and his Grandmaster level disguise was probably similar. Lin Tian stood before the bathroom mirror. With his Grandmaster level disguise and Grandmaster level martial arts, he could drastically alter his body without any aids. In the mirror, his face visibly changed, becoming completely different in just half a minute. His height had also changed, shrinking by 7 or 8 centimeters. Ahem. Lin Tian cleared his throat and tried to speak. The disguise included a complete change to his voice. His voice was completely different from before. He tried walking a few steps, and his gait was well controlled. I actually obtained a Grandmaster level disguise technique. Not bad, not bad. With this, it'll be much easier to do things abroad in the future. Lin Tian muttered. With his hacking skills, he could easily obtain a passport for himself, allowing him to travel to other countries silently. Even if he doesn't cause trouble, this is still very useful. Right now, many people probably think he's Master Lin's disciple, and some forces will definitely investigate him. By comparing his physique and other features with Master Lin, they might be able to determine that they are the same person. With the ability to disguise himself, he can change his appearance. If necessary in the future, he can also directly make Master Lin appear. I wonder what's going on with the notebook. Lin Tian returned to his original appearance. He turned on his computer and started checking. Lin Tian frowned slightly. Miyazaki Izuru's house was on fire. The fire was raging, and the entire house was burned to the ground. Lin Tian found the video. The fire was extremely intense. In this situation, a lot of gasoline must have been poured on it. Miyazaki Izuru is a martial arts master. It's unlikely that someone would pour gasoline on his house. He moved out voluntarily. The burning was to clear away any possible residue. Lin Tian's eyes flashed. Miyazaki Izuru has been faking his death for so long, and now he's burned down his house and moved to a new location. There must be something shady going on. Lin Tian tried to track down where Miyazaki Izuru went through the surveillance footage, but this investigation quickly stalled. Miyazaki Izuru and his group arrived at a parking lot. The parking lot's surveillance cameras were, coincidentally, broken. Many cars were entering and exiting the parking lot every hour. Hello, guys. Lin Tian entered the Hellfire Hacker Organization's encrypted chat group. They were all online. Seeing this message and the extra avatar, their expressions changed. This chat group was something they had painstakingly built, much more powerful, yet it had still been easily hacked. Boss, we haven't been doing anything reckless lately. We've only made money from East Sakura country, and not much at all. King, the leader of the Hellfire Hacker Organization, replied. He had suffered heavy losses because of Lin Tian's targeting, but he dared not speak out. Lin Tian could send them to jail in a minute. Lin Tian could even send them to meet their maker in a minute. Given Lin Tian's hacking skills, they knew that killing them wouldn't be difficult for him. Guys, you're all active in Dongying country every day. Help me find someone, he's gone into hiding. Lin Tian uploaded Miyazaki Izuru's information to the chat group. Soon, someone started investigating. Boss, didn't he die 10 years ago? The man messaged. Lin Tian shared Miyazaki Izuru's latest information in the group chat. He's still alive, and he's probably secretly researching something. Find him for me. Miyazaki Izuru was hiding. Finding him wasn't something that could be done easily with advanced technology. It required a thorough search, and even a bit of luck. Boss, we'll try our best, King replied. Lin Tian said, guys, good luck. If you don't do your job well, bad things might happen. Many avatars disappeared from the chat group. Half an hour passed, and still, no one spoke. Is everyone here? The leader, King, spoke. Yes, boss. Yes. The others chimed in. They hadn't logged off, but they were feeling somewhat depressed and worried that Lin Tian was spying on them. King said, guys, it seems that with our strength, we'll never escape their control. In that case, let's just go along with them completely. That way, they shouldn't do anything to us. The others echoed. That was the only option. Completely giving up resistance made them feel much more relaxed. The opponent was so powerful, might makes right. Listening to them wasn't unacceptable. Guys, since that's the case, let's analyze where they're most likely to be. We'll conduct a thorough search, one place at a time. Treat this as a challenge. If we succeed, our skills might improve significantly. King spoke up. The others eagerly shared their opinions. Lin Tian emerged from his shower. His avatar was hidden, but he hadn't actually left the group chat yet. Good job, guys. Keep it up. Lin Tian sent a message and then left the encrypted group chat. The Hellfire members, luckily, they hadn't discussed how to target Lin Tian, otherwise it might have been more than just their bank cards being emptied. Even without hacking, a bounty on the dark web for assassins to take them out would be a piece of cake, wouldn't it? Where were we? Let's continue the discussion. After a half-minute silence, King sent a message. The next day, Luo Bingning accompanied Chen Wan and the others to S City. Lin Tian retrieved the medicinal herbs from Ding Shi's place, carefully examining and judging each one. The age of the herbs, the length of their growth period, and even the quality of the sunlight conditions all affect their efficacy. A change in the efficacy of a single herb could cause the youth-preserving pill to fail. Fortunately, Lin Tian now fully understands the youth-preserving pill, and he is also a Grand Master of martial arts and a Master of medicine. After half an hour, Lin Tian had prepared 2 portions of herbs, enough to brew 2 youth-preserving pills in one pot. With practice, he could do more. Lin Tian was cautious the first time. If he ruined it, at least he still had the herbs and could try again. Crush it. Lin Tian pressed his hand onto the prepared herbs one by one, his powerful internal energy crushing them into powder. Next came the brewing. This required precise control of the heat and the timing of adding the herbs. His divine-level culinary skills came into play. He only possessed the divine-level formula for the youth-preserving pill and knew how to make it, but this didn't include heat control. Controlling the flame size on a gas stove is simple, but determining the right flame and temperature is not so easy. Damn it. Half an hour passed, and Lin Tian shook his head helplessly. Even though he knew the steps perfectly, the first batch still failed. He was a little slow when adding one of the medicinal herbs. After summarizing his lessons learned, Lin Tian quickly started the second batch. However, the second batch also failed. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Lin Tian examined the 2 pills he had refined. Under his internal force, the pills were perfectly round. While the pills' color wasn't particularly appealing, Lin Tian was certain they were indeed youth-preserving pills. The effects would be minimal for young girls like Luo Bingning, but the effects would be remarkable for older people. For someone like Lin Tian's mother, Chen Wan, if she took them, the pills' power would make her look several years younger overnight. However, the effects of the pills would only last for 1 year. You must take another pill the following year to maintain the effect, otherwise, you will age several years and revert to your original state. Unfortunately, if the spiritual energy of the world were abundant, a single youth preservation pill could perhaps maintain one's youth for decades. Lin Tian muttered to himself. However, the fact that the youth-preserving pill only lasts for 1 year isn't without its advantages. Important people who buy it will definitely want it again for the second year. The youth-preserving pill not only retains youth but also has the effect of extending lifespan. For middle-aged people like Chen Wan, in their 40s or 50s, taking 1 pill a year could easily extend their lifespan by 15 years. Those in their 50s or 60s could extend their lifespan by 10 years if taken annually. Those over 60 could also extend their lifespan by 5 or 6 years. If it only had the effect of preserving youth, many people might not care, but with its life-extending effect, this youth preservation pill is practically a life-saving elixir for many. 3 o'clock. There's still time to refine another batch. Lin Tian muttered to himself. He had enough remaining herbs to refine 4 more pills, and he used them all. Fortunately, 2 hours later, he successfully refined them. He refined a total of 6 youth preservation pills. After storing the pills in a small bottle, Lin Tian quickly set off. He ate out that evening. Luo Bingning naturally chose a top-tier restaurant, with a first-class ambiance and a commanding view of S City's beautiful nightscape. Bingning, aren't they Lin Tian's parents? Don't you think they're out of place here? Before Lin Tian even arrived, someone approached Luo Bingning. Hearing this, Lin Haisheng and Chen Wan frowned slightly. Luo Bingning's face turned cold. Zheng Guangyao, your behavior is utterly unbecoming of a young master of the Zheng family. Please leave. Behavior. Zheng Guangyao shook his head. The girl I like has been taken away. This isn't the time for me to talk about manners. Gentlemen, do you think your son is worthy of Bingning? High society isn't so easy to break into. As he said this, Zheng Guangyao pulled a check from his pocket. This is a check for 10 million. You can cash it immediately at any bank. Take it and get your son out of Bingning's sight. Luo Bingning said coldly. Zheng Guangyao, take your filthy money and get out, or you won't get away with it. Lin Tian entered the restaurant at this moment. Chen Wan saw Lin Tian from afar. She felt relieved. She was mainly worried that Luo Bingning would suffer if a conflict broke out. Bingning, don't be angry. Whose stupid son is this? Chen Wan asked. Luo Bingning felt much more relaxed after hearing Chen Wan's words. She was afraid that Chen Wan and the others would be upset, but it seemed they weren't. Auntie, he's from the Zheng family in the capital. The Zheng family's assets exceed 100 billion, they have some influence. Luo Bingning smiled. Lin Tian approached and picked up the check on the table. Young Master Zheng, you think you can afford to give away a mere 10 million? Tell your dad I need 1 billion. If I don't have 1 billion by tomorrow morning, the Zheng family will be in big trouble. Zheng Guangyao looked at Lin Tian like he was an idiot. 1 billion. Who do you think you are? Zheng Guangyao said disdainfully. Luo Bingning said, Zheng Guangyao, you just returned from abroad. That's right, I just came back from overseas. Is there a problem? Zheng Guangyao frowned. Luo Bingning said calmly, go back and discuss it with your dad. Get that 1 billion ready as soon as possible. Zheng Guangyao's expression changed slightly. He could ignore Lin Tian's words, but Luo Bingning's words were a different story. Bingning, did he say anything else? Lin Tian asked. Luo Bingning said, he was quite rude, saying that uncle and auntie didn't fit in with the environment here, and that you weren't good enough for me. Is that so? Lin Tian nodded slightly, then let's each add 10 billion. Tomorrow morning I hope your Zheng family will have 30 billion ready. If you like to throw money around, then throw more. Chapter 135. Not a penny less of the 3 billion. Zheng Guangyao's face darkened. Luo Bingning hadn't objected to Lin Tian's words, which suggested Lin Tian was no ordinary person, had he kicked a hornet's nest. HMPH. Zheng Guangyao snorted coldly and turned to leave. Lin Haisheng asked, son, will there be any problems? Lin Tian smiled, Dad, don't worry, there won't be any problems. If the Zheng family is smart, they'll prepare 3 billion. Chen Wang whispered, son, will the Zheng family call the police? Will the police say this is extortion? Lin Tian sat down next to Luo Bingning. He said, Mom, small amounts are extortion, billions are not. In ancient times, if someone privately kept 5,000 cavalry and was reported, and the emperor verified it, it was a death sentence. If you had 500,000 cavalry, you could say, why should I explain my actions to anyone? Luo Bingning chuckled. Lin Haisheng said, son, you'd better be careful. Lin Tian nodded. I've already been very low-key. If the Zheng family still provokes me under these circumstances, that's their problem, not mine. The higher-ups will understand. Luo Bingning smiled slightly, uncle and aunt, I don't think we need to persuade Lin Tian to be low-key. He's being too low-key. Uncle and aunt, I'm sorry you were wrong just now. Chen Wan quickly said, no. Bingning, don't worry, we're not that fragile. That's right. Lin Haisheng said. Knowing their son's situation, Zheng Guangyao's words wouldn't affect them. Take out a mere 10 million. Are you kidding me? Lin Tian's villa is worth over 100 million. The villa he bought for them alone is worth over 10 million. Trying to scare them with this little bit of money is nothing to them. Leaving the restaurant, Zheng Guangyao quickly made a phone call. You, surnamed Wu, you tricked me. Zheng Guangyao said coldly. The person on the other end of the phone was Wu Zongliang. He asked in surprise, young Master Zheng, what are you saying? What did I do to you? Zheng Guangyao coldly replied, you deliberately mentioned that Luo Bingning has a boyfriend, and that Lin Tian's parents are in S City, and that she's still entertaining them. You also said Lin Tian's parents are just farmers. Wu Zongliang said in a deep voice, young Master Zheng, you should have a conscience. I did say those things, but I was just trying to be helpful, reminding you. Tell me, which part of what I said was wrong? Zheng Guangyao was speechless. Wu Zongliang hadn't actually said anything wrong, but Wu Zongliang definitely had ulterior motives. HMPH. Zheng Guangyao snorted coldly and hung up the phone. After thinking for a moment, he dialed the number of a local tycoon in S City. Young Master Wang, I have something I'd like to ask you about. Young Master Zheng, please ask away. Zheng Guangyao said, young Master Wang, I've been eyeing Luo Bingning of the Luo family, haven't I? She recently got a boyfriend. Do you know anything about him? On the other end of the line, Wang Jingtao's expression changed slightly. Young Master Zheng, did you offend him? Zheng Guangyao said, it wasn't exactly an offense, just a minor conflict. If you know anything, please let me know. Wang Jingtao said, at the youth martial arts tournament, he killed 3 people from Dongyan Kingdom. It's suspected he has the strength of a martial arts master. Furthermore, the wildly popular Grandmaster Ellen online is very likely his master, or an elder of the Lin family. Grandmaster Lin is very likely the only martial arts grandmaster in China. Hanging up the phone, Zheng Guangyao felt his head spinning. As a member of a large family, he knew a little about martial arts and had even practiced it before, but he hadn't been able to stick with it. He also knew about Grandmaster Lin online. He could kill with a falling flower or a plucked leaf, could fly through the treetops, and even claimed in a live stream that he could withstand handgun bullets without a problem. Even in this age of firearms, this was an unparalleled powerhouse. In ancient times, he would be a terrifying existence capable of fighting against 10,000 soldiers, capable of single-handedly defending a city. You bastard surnamed Wu, I'll curse your grandpa. Zheng Guangyao cursed inwardly. He wanted to go back and plead for mercy, but he didn't dare. He had just despised Lin Tian's parents. If he went back now, and Lin Tian secretly killed him, where would he go to seek justice? Beep beep. Zheng Guangyao, after much deliberation, called his father. Stop hanging out with your shady friends. Now that you're back in the country, come home right away. Your mother keeps nagging you. Zheng Guangyao's father, Zheng Qishan, said. Zheng Guangyao took a deep breath. Dad, I've gotten into some trouble. Someone wants the Zheng family to prepare 3 billion. What arrogance. Zheng Qishan sneered on the other end of the line. The Zheng family has over 100 billion in assets, his abilities and methods are considerable. When he took over, the Zheng family wasn't this strong. Tell me, who's so arrogant? Zheng Guangyao quickly blurted out. On the other end of the line, Zheng Qishan was immediately furious. Foolish. How many times have I told you, think twice before you act? You actually rushed in based on a little bit of news. Zheng Qishan said angrily. Zheng Guangyao said dejectedly, Dad, I secretly observed him carefully before taking action, his parents are indeed just farmers. Besides, this matter is related to Bingning, so, Dad, he wants 3 billion. Can we just ignore him? Or should we call the police and accuse him of extortion? Zheng Qishan was silent for a while before saying, if a grandmaster kills someone, do you think the police can find evidence? Or will they even bother to look for evidence? If our Zheng family targets a martial arts grandmaster, others might not dare to say anything, but your old man probably won't live more than 3 days. Zheng Guangyao's face turned quite grim. Dad, are we just going to obediently give him 3 billion? Giving away 3 billion, Zheng Guangyao knew that he would definitely have no chance of becoming the head of the Zheng family in the future. Dad, is it possible that Master Lin isn't his elder? Zheng Qishan said coldly, what do you think? If he didn't have a master backing him, would he dare make this request? Go there immediately and apologize. I'll raise the money. Even with the Zheng family's assets exceeding 100 billion, 3 billion in cash isn't something the Zheng family can just pull out whenever they want. However, raising 3 billion overnight shouldn't be a problem for the Zheng family. How could this happen? Ending the call, Zheng Guangyao's face was pale. Giving away 3 billion would definitely make him a marginal figure in the family. I have to beg Lin Tian, yes, I'll beg him. If I get his forgiveness, there's still hope. Zheng Guangyao quickly returned to the restaurant where Lin Tian and the others were. Slap. Reaching Lin Tian and the others, Zheng Guangyao slapped himself across the face. Young Master Lin, it was my fault just now. I shouldn't have provoked you. Can we let this matter go? Zheng Guangyao pleaded humbly. Hearing the sound of the slap, the others in the restaurant turned to look. Some recognized Zheng Guangyao. Wow, isn't that Zheng Guangyao from the Zheng family? This guy is usually so arrogant, but today he actually slapped himself. It really is him. Who did he offend? 2 young men at a nearby table whispered in shock. Lin Tian said calmly, Zheng Guangyao, call your parents here, and I'll punch each of you once, and the 3 billion will be waived. Zheng Guangyao's face darkened. Our Zheng family isn't some small clan. Do you have to be so aggressive? Lin Tian scoffed, weren't you quite arrogant in front of my parents before? 3 billion, not a penny less. Get out of here now, or it won't just be 3 billion. Zheng Guangyao left, his face dark with embarrassment. Leaving the restaurant, Zheng Guangyao contacted his father, Zheng Qishan, again. Dad, I talked to Lin Tian, I even slapped myself, but he said not a penny less than 3 billion. He also told me to get out, or it would be more than 3 billion. Zheng Guangyao said, suppressing his anger. As the young master of the Zheng family, he had never been treated like this before, slapped in public and told to get lost. I'm raising the money. Come back right away. Zheng Qishan said in a deep voice on the other end of the phone. Zheng Guangyao said, Dad, how about trying the Luo family? Isn't Lin Tian dating Luo Bingning now? Let the Luo family talk to him. Zheng Guangyao didn't want his family to pay so much money. The more they paid, the worse his future treatment would be. I'll think about it. Zheng Qishan hung up the phone. He paced back and forth in the living room. Zheng Qishan certainly knew Luo Bingning's father, Luo Hongquan. After all, the circle of China's super-rich was quite small. However, their relationship was merely superficial, nothing more than nodding acquaintances. With such a small connection, the chances of Luo Hongquan agreeing to waive the 3 billion yuan were slim. Why should he let his daughter's boyfriend be unhappy for his sake? Lin Tian had a martial arts grandmaster behind him. In his view, Luo Hongquan must be very satisfied with Lin Tian as his son-in-law. Little did Zheng Qishan know, Luo Hongquan was currently unaware of Lin Tian's situation, and he didn't follow the martial arts circle. Sigh. Zheng Qishan sighed. Spending the 3 billion yuan first, and then approaching the Luo family later to have Luo Hongquan organize a meeting to ease tensions, was no problem. Approaching now would likely only lead to humiliation. That bastard. Zheng Qishan cursed inwardly. He wasn't cursing Lin Tian, but rather his own son, Zheng Guangyao, who had brought so much trouble to the family without knowing the situation. After dinner, Lin Tian and the others returned to the villa. Son, Bingning bought me clothes, bags, necklaces, and other things. I told her not to buy them, but she wouldn't listen. Chen Wan showed off quite a few items. The things Luo Bingning bought for Chen Wan and the others weren't cheap. The total cost was probably 200,000 or 300,000 yuan. While they were buying them, Chen Wan and the others felt the pinch. But they were still happy to have the gifts. Lin Tian smiled and said, Mom, this is Bingning's thoughtfulness. Just accept it. This is your birthday present. Lin Tian said, taking a small bottle from his pocket. Bingning, go pour a bowl of water. Soon, Luo Bingning brought the water. Lin Tian poured out a brown pill from the small bottle. Son, this is my birthday present. Your birthday present doesn't look as good as what Bingning bought. Chen Wan said. It's her own son, she can say whatever she wants. Lin Tian said irritably, Mom, if anyone else wants to buy this pill, don't even think about it for less than 100 million. For an elderly person nearing the end of their lifespan, a pill like this could extend their life by a year. Forget 100 million RMB, 100 million US dollars would be enough to make anyone fight over it. Some heads of super-rich conglomerates abroad are incredibly wealthy. What is 100 million US dollars to them? For extremely wealthy women, this pill could make them young, and they would also want it very much. This thing is worth 100 million. Chen Wan asked incredulously. Lin Haisheng and Luo Bingning stared blankly at the unassuming pill. Lin Tian chuckled, if I sold it to a super-rich foreigner, I'd offer 100 million US dollars and people would fight over it. It can extend the life of an elderly person with little time left by 1 year. Lin Haisheng and Luo Bingning were utterly shocked. This seemingly insignificant pill had such terrifying effects. Mom, you should take it quickly, Lin Tian said. Chen Wan stammered, it's so expensive, should we just sell it? Lin Tian. Luo Bingning said, Auntie, this thing sells for a high price, but Lin Tian's production cost is definitely far lower. Besides, Lin Tian can make it. Chen Wan nodded, that's true. She quickly swallowed the pill. The pill rapidly began to release its medicinal power, and Chen Wan soon felt her body become warm. Dad, you can eat later. I just made this. Although I'm sure it'll be fine, you guys shouldn't eat it together. Lin Tian said. Chen Wan glanced at Lin Tian. Son, are you using your mother as a guinea pig? I feel a little hot. Lin Tian laughed. Mom, it's normal to feel hot. Drink plenty of water tonight, you'll definitely sweat a lot. I'll take Bingning home first and then come back. If anything unusual happens, I can handle it immediately from here. Luo Bingning said. Lin Tian, I can go back by myself. I can drive, don't leave. Then be careful. Luo Bingning left, and Lin Tian went to the master bedroom to meditate and cultivate. Refining pills had consumed some of his internal energy. The night passed. Ah! Lin Tian heard his mother's exclamation from the bathroom outside. What's wrong? Lin Haisheng quickly got up and went to the bathroom. He saw Chen Wan and froze. He knew exactly what his wife looked like. Chen Wan looked 5 or 6 years younger than she had last night. At 40-something, a difference of 1 or 2 years wouldn't make a huge difference in appearance, but a difference of 5 or 6 years was very noticeable. Son, come quick, Chen Wan called out loudly. Lin Tian went outside and saw Chen Wan. He smiled and said, Mom, this is the normal effect of the pill. It's not an longevity pill, but a youth-preserving pill. Take one every year, and you'll look almost the same at 60. How about it? Are you satisfied with this birthday gift? Chen Wan was overjoyed. Really look almost the same at 60. Lin Tian nodded. Yes. It's a pity you're getting a bit old, Mom. If Bingning took it every year, she'd look almost the same at 50. Chen Wan and Lin Haisheng were astonished. This effect was incredible. Chen Wan smiled and said, I'm very satisfied to look like this at 60. By the way, I feel I've gained some strength. Lin Tian said, that's normal. This elixir doesn't just change appearance, it completely changes you from the inside out. Ding dong, the doorbell rang. Luo Bingning arrived early. Auntie, you. Luo Bingning was stunned when she saw Chen Wan. Compared to yesterday, Chen Wan's change was significant. Chen Wan smiled and said, Bingning, you're surprised too, aren't you? Luo Bingning nodded repeatedly. Auntie, you look several years younger. Chen Wan chuckled. Lin Tian said if you eat one every year, you'll still look the same in 30 years. Really? Luo Bing looked at Lin Tian with delight. A bronze treasure chest appeared above her head. Lin Tian smiled and nodded, of course it's true. Beep beep. Just then, Lin Tian's phone rang. It was an unknown number. Hello. Lin Tian answered the phone. On the other end of the line, Zheng Qishan said in a deep voice, Young Master Lin, this is Zheng Qishan of the Zheng family, Zheng Guangyao's father. On behalf of the Zheng family, I apologize for my son's inappropriate words and actions. We have already prepared 3 billion. Lin Tian said calmly, I'll send you a bank account number. With your abilities, you should be able to transfer the money. After saying that, Lin Tian hung up the phone directly. He quickly sent the bank account number to Zheng Qishan. Your savings card ending in 9527. The bank quickly sent a text message notification. 3 billion had been transferred in. The long string of zeros looked quite encouraging. Looking at the bank text message Lin Tian received, Lin Haisheng was astonished. The Zheng family really transferred that 3 billion to you. Chen Wan was slightly worried. Son, the Zheng family might transfer the money first, then call the police. Lin Tian laughed. Mom, you don't need to worry. The Zheng family has over 100 billion in assets, not just a few billion. The Zheng family isn't worth taking that risk for 3 billion. Lin Haisheng asked, Son, do we need to pay taxes on this money? Lin Tian. His father's question had stumped him. Whether money obtained through extortion is taxed is a question, we'll see during the annual tax return. Lin Tian said. Lin Haisheng nodded slightly. Son, you'd better not touch this money yet, to avoid any problems later. This amount of money was too large. Even though Lin Tian was confident, Lin Haisheng and Chen Wan were still worried. Lin Tian smiled and said, Dad, I'll listen to you. I'll put this money in a 3-year fixed deposit and earn the interest. The interest in a year will probably be 100 million. Lin Haisheng and the others clicked their tongues in amazement. 100 million a year. That's almost 300,000 in interest every day you open your eyes, more than you can spend, absolutely more. Luo Bingning opened her mouth, but she didn't say anything. Such a large sum of money, it's a bit of a waste to just leave it there, but they weren't short of money. Compared to Lin Haisheng and the others' peace of mind, earning a little less money was fine. Okay, let's put it in a fixed deposit. Chen Wan quickly said. Having the money sitting there made her feel much more at ease. Lin Tian smiled. Receiving the 3 billion from the Zheng family didn't actually stir much emotion within him. He had $480 million in his secret overseas account. That's more than 3 billion RMB. Mom and Dad, you should spend money as you please. Don't be too frugal. You won't even spend all the interest on this money. Lin Tian smiled. Lin Haisheng and Chen Wan nodded. Luo Bingning said, Lin Tian, I've had a yacht prepared. Let's take uncle and aunt out to sea for a while. Out to sea? Sure. Lin Tian nodded. Donggying country has begun discharging nuclear wastewater into the ocean. The situation is currently manageable along the Chinese coast, but the pollution may worsen next year. An hour later, Lin Tian and his group boarded the yacht. The yacht prepared by Luo Bingning was extremely luxurious. Renting such a yacht for a day would likely cost a considerable sum. Before receiving the 3 billion, Lin Haisheng and his group might have felt a bit hesitant about spending the money, but now they are much better off. The capital city, the Zheng family, Zheng Qishan, his wife, and their 3 sons were all at home. Zheng Qishan smoked one cigarette after another. "Honey, it's been an hour." Zheng Qishan's wife broke the silence. Sigh. Zheng Qishan sighed deeply. He had still held onto a sliver of hope that Lin Tian was just bluffing and that the money would be returned. Now it seemed he had been overthinking it. Zheng Qishan looked at Zheng Guangyao. Zheng Guangyao's heart skipped a beat. "Dad, why don't we wait a little longer? Maybe Lin Tian will transfer the money to us tomorrow." Zheng Qishan shook his head. An hour was more than enough time for Lin Tian to go to the bank and transfer the money. If he did transfer it to them, they could call the police, and Lin Tian would have an excuse. Lin Tian couldn't believe they would actually do this. If it wasn't transferred, then that excuse is useless. It means Lin Tian never intended to transfer the money back to them. Waiting until tomorrow, or even next year, won't help. "Guangyao, although this 3 billion came from our family, the rest of the family will also be significantly affected. We have to explain to the rest of the family, do you understand?" Zheng Qishan said in a deep voice. The Zheng family received the majority of the money, but there are others. Zheng Guangyao's situation affects the interests of the entire family. "Dad, I understand," Zheng Guangyao said nervously. Zheng Qishan took a deep breath. "It's good that you understand. You were originally groomed as the family heir, but your qualification as the family heir is now revoked. At the same time, your annual family dividend will be reduced to 300,000. Zheng Guangyao's face changed drastically. Losing his inheritance qualification was expected, but the annual family dividend was reduced to only 300,000. His annual dividend used to be 5 million. 300,000 is less than a tenth of what it used to be. This income isn't even enough for an average middle-class family. Dad, 300,000 is too little. It's simply not enough for me," Zheng Guangyao said anxiously. Zheng Qishan said in a deep voice, "This is a resolution of the Family Elders' Council. This money is enough for you to live a normal life. You can't expect to spend money as lavishly as before." Speaking of which, Zheng Qishan looked at his wife. "Wife, don't give him money secretly, that would harm him. If he continues to live a very extravagant life, Lin Tian might be unhappy, and our Zheng family might face even bigger trouble. If the family faces even bigger trouble, the Family Elders' Council might decide to expel Guangyao from the Zheng family." Zheng Qishan's wife nodded slightly. Sigh. She sighed. Zheng Guangyao said unwillingly, "Dad, our family's wealth accounts for 60%, why should we listen to the others? Are the family elders that important?" Zheng Guangyao's eldest brother coughed lightly. "Third brother, you can't say that. Although our family is wealthy, the members of the family elders are no less powerful than us." Zheng Qishan stared coldly at Zheng Guangyao. "Obey the arrangements, and you'll receive 300,000 from the family every year. Disobey, and you won't get a single penny. The choice is yours." He was quite disappointed in his son, Zheng Guangyao. This behavior had put him, the head of the family, in a very passive position. Zheng Guangyao wanted to say defiantly that he didn't want a single penny. But in the end, he didn't say it. These days, earning 300,000 isn't easy. With 300,000, at least he wouldn't have to worry about food and drink. "Wife, help Guangyao pack. From today onwards, he'll have to rent a place to live on his own," Zheng Qishan said in a deep voice. Zheng Qishan's wife frowned. Did it really have to come to this? Our Zheng family is, after all, a prestigious and powerful clan. Zheng Qishan shook his head. A woman's perspective. The most unstable force in this world is money. One policy from above, and a powerful family like ours could collapse. The power of the privileged class is much more stable. But the most stable force is one's own power, like Master Lin, who is completely unaffected by external forces. Envy flickered in Zheng Qishan's eyes. If the Zheng family had a martial arts grandmaster in charge, life would be so much more comfortable. Listen up, you two, Zheng Qishan said sternly, his gaze sweeping over his two sons. Never offend Lin Tian again, and especially never offend Grandmaster Lin. Zheng Qishan's face fell. Zheng Guangyao's face fell. His father had stopped talking to him. He had become a marginal figure in the Zheng family, only receiving a meager allowance each year, living a life of idleness. He felt suicidal. "Dad, we understand," Zheng Guangyao's two older brothers said. They were in a pretty good mood. Their educational background wasn't as high as Zheng Guangyao's, and Zheng Guangyao was originally supposed to be the family heir, but now they had a chance. Zheng Qishan picked up his phone. He wanted to contact Luo Hongquan and ask him to organize a dinner to ease tensions with Lin Tian and Master Lin. But he quickly put down his phone. Lin Tian's parents lived in S City, and today was his mother's birthday. Lin Tian didn't have time for him right now. Luo Hongquan has found a good son-in-law. Zheng Qishan thought to herself with deep emotion. Even if Lin Tian isn't a martial arts master now, he will definitely become one within a few years, and he may very well become a grandmaster in the future. Boss, it's a good thing you set sail today. If you had waited a day, you might not be able to go out to sea tomorrow, the yacht's captain, Xie Zhang, said with a smile. He had already steered the yacht to a clear stretch of water where Lin Tian and the others could do sea fishing and diving. Lin Tian asked in confusion, "Why can't we go out to sea tomorrow?" Xie Zhang replied, "The weather station issued a typhoon warning. There will be a typhoon the day after tomorrow, so it's highly unlikely we can go out to sea tomorrow." Lin Haisheng laughed, "Captain, typhoons are normal this season. Just treat it as a holiday and rest." Xie Zhang smiled wryly, "Usually, typhoons are fine, but this one seems unusual. It might be a super typhoon. Fortunately, the typhoon shouldn't make landfall in S City. It's more likely to come from Fuzhou, so we won't suffer too much damage." There was internet on the boat, and Lin Tian took out his phone to check. The strongest typhoon in history, the Hague, is about to make landfall. The Meteorological Bureau has confirmed that the Hague has been upgraded to a Category 18 super typhoon and may directly hit the southeast coast. Lin Tian's expression turned serious. Category 18 is the highest level. If such a super typhoon makes landfall, the damage would be incalculable. "Captain, have you ever experienced a Category 18 typhoon?" Lin Tian asked. Xie Zhang shook his head. "I've experienced a Category 17 typhoon. The scene was terrifying, the ship was like a toy." He paused, then asked, "Boss, Typhoon Hague hasn't already strengthened into a Category 18 super typhoon, has it?" Lin Tian nodded. Xie Zhang's expression turned grim. "If a Category 18 typhoon hits, a large area will be affected. God help me, hopefully this typhoon will head east, towards Japan. They're discharging nuclear wastewater these days. The typhoon will carry the nuclear wastewater onto their land." Lin Tian looked southeast. His eyes narrowed slightly. Heaven probably couldn't help with this, but if he went, perhaps he could use the Junhai Tower to redirect the typhoon. This is a perfect opportunity to expose Master Lin. Lin Tian muttered to himself. He possessed a Grandmaster-level disguise technique, allowing him to change his appearance and appear in public. Based on the current trajectory, the Hague will make landfall on the southeast coast tomorrow, and will reach S City the day after. Lin Tian thought to himself. He needed to go to Fuzhou tonight and make some arrangements in advance. As evening approached, Lin Tian's yacht docked. "Son, your mother and I discussed it, and we'll go back tomorrow morning. The typhoon is coming, and there will be torrential rain, which isn't very fun. Besides, staying here will delay Bingning's work," Lin Haisheng said. Luo Bingning quickly said, "Uncle, I'm fine. I can work a little overtime at my company tonight." Chen Wan held Luo Bingning's hand and smiled. "Bingning, you've spent 2 days with us. We'll come again next time." Lin Tian said, "Bingning, let Mom and Dad go back tomorrow morning. I have to go on a long trip tonight, it's important. Dad, take that pill when you get back. After you return to Xingcheng, it's best if you don't go back to the village for a month. If you really have to go back, Dad, you should go. Your appearance will change much less than Mom's." Lin Haisheng and the others nodded. They didn't ask Lin Tian what he was going on his long trip for. With Lin Tian's current abilities, some of his things might be classified. "Bingning, see Mom and Dad off tomorrow," Lin Tian said to Luo Bingning. Luo Bingning nodded. Lin Haisheng was taking pills tonight, and given Lin Tian's departure tonight, it was clear this wasn't a small matter. Half an hour later, Lin Tian and the others returned home. Lin Haisheng took the pills. Soon, he felt his body begin to heat up, but this heat was different from a fever, it felt quite comfortable. Lin Tian, come and clean some fish, Luo Bingning said from the kitchen. They had caught quite a few fish today. Lin Tian went into the kitchen and moved extremely quickly, easily cleaning the fish in no time. Luo Bingning asked suspiciously, Lin Tian, your fish cleaning technique is so skillful, or your cooking skills really that bad? Lin Tian laughed, I'm skilled in martial arts, cleaning a few fish is a piece of cake. My cooking skills are only a tiny fraction. His cooking skills were now at the level of a culinary god, but unlike Luo Bingning's love of cooking, he didn't particularly enjoy cooking himself. Luo Bingning's cooking is pretty good too. Isn't it better to eat it ready-made? Bingning, Lin Tian's cooking skills are just average. The stuff he makes is just not poisonous enough to kill anyone. Chen Wan said, pushing Lin Tian out of the kitchen. 2 hours later, Lin Tian and the others finished eating. Lin Haisheng's condition was stable, there was definitely nothing wrong with him. He dared to let his mother take the first pill, so he had extremely strong confidence in the pills he refined. Mom and Dad, I'm leaving now. Bingning will take you tomorrow morning. Lin Tian and Luo Bingning left. Only the Cullinan remained in the villa. Luo Bingning took Lin Tian to the airport. Lin Tian, are you going to Fuzhou? Luo Bingning asked. Lin Tian chuckled, wife, you're so smart. It seems our future child won't be stupid. Luo Bingning asked doubtfully, a typhoon is the wrath of heaven. Even if you're a martial arts master, you can't do much with it, right? Lin Tian smiled, I know a little bit about feng shui too. There's the Junhai Tower over there, with its dragon vein. Perhaps I can use the power of the Junhai Tower and the dragon vein to redirect the typhoon. Luo Bingning stared blankly at Lin Tian. You know feng shui? Lin Tian chuckled. I learned it recently. Haven't you noticed a slight change in the arrangement of things in the house lately? Do you feel more energetic? Luo Bingning said in surprise, no wonder I haven't been feeling sleepy at noon lately. So it was because you adjusted the feng shui. Many wealthy families actually believe in this. My mother is a big believer, she even had a feng shui master arrange the house. Lin Tian chuckled. Most feng shui masters just mess around, but skilled ones do have an effect. By the way, I'll appear as Grandmaster Lin. Luo Bingning looked at Lin Tian suspiciously, wearing a mask. Lin Tian shook his head. I recently learned the art of disguise. When I disguise myself, you definitely won't recognize me, hee hee. Luo Bingning wasn't surprised. Compared to something as mystical as feng shui, the art of disguise seemed ordinary to her. It was normal for Lin Tian to have learned it. She had already accepted Lin Tian's extraordinary persona. Alright, you can go back now. Be careful on the road. Lin Tian got off at the airport. He had already bought his ticket. The plane took off in about half an hour and landed after 11 p.m. Flights weren't cancelled tonight, but everything would be cancelled by tomorrow. Driver, to Junhai Tower. Lin Tian hailed a taxi. The taxi driver, a middle-aged man, said, young man, a typhoon is coming, Junhai Tower is closed now. You can only look at it from the outside now. Lin Tian said, looking from the outside is fine too. With such a big typhoon coming, I hope Junhai Tower will be able to handle it. The middle-aged man nodded, a worried look on his face. Based on the current trajectory, the typhoon will most likely make landfall in Fuzhou. Less than an hour later, Lin Tian arrived near Junhai Tower. He subtly changed his appearance. He also put on the ancient costume he often wore during his live streams. Hello, Junhai Tower is currently closed to visitors. Lin Tian was stopped by a staff member at Junhai Tower. Lin Tian smiled faintly, please report to your superiors that my surname is Lin, and people online call me Master Lin. It was the middle of the night, but there were quite a few people inside Junhai Tower. Not a big problem. Saying 100% might be a bit presumptuous, let's say 99%. But we need to make some changes here tonight. Cheng Qingyuan quickly said, Master Lin, tell us how you want to change it. We'll be at your beck and call, including myself. Lin Tian smiled, Secretary Cheng, it's much easier with you here. Soon, Lin Tian made a series of requests, and Cheng Qingyuan and the others quickly got to work according to his instructions. Zhang Chongshu and Xu Tianji initially had some doubts about Lin Tian's feng shui skills, but they soon realized that Lin Tian was far superior to them. Lin Tian's feng shui skills were definitely at the grandmaster level. Quickly, replace this plaque. Where's the excavator? Dig up these trees immediately. The 10-meter stone tablet, get it here as soon as possible. With Secretary Cheng Qingyuan around, many things became simple. Lin Tian only needed to say something, and someone would do it. Where excavation was needed, the excavator immediately went into action. Where new construction was needed, the construction team worked through the night. From midnight to dawn, Junhai Tower had changed considerably. Secretary, the latest news from the Meteorological Bureau. Typhoon Hague is 100% certain to make landfall. The meteorological bureaus of countries like the Philippines and other countries have made the same assessment. An expert from the Meteorological Bureau here said, the closer the typhoon is, the more accurate the prediction can be. Typhoons can change direction, Typhoon Hague is too strong, and the meteorological bureaus of neighboring countries are closely monitoring it. They also gave their predictions regarding the typhoon's path. Cheng Qingyuan nodded. His bloodshot eyes looked at Lin Tian. Lin Tian smiled. Secretary Cheng, don't panic, there are always miracles in this world. The time has come, I'll set up this stone tablet first. Beside Lin Tian was a stone tablet 10 meters long and over a meter wide, this massive tablet weighing at least 7 or 8 tons. Rise. Lin Tian swept his hands up, unleashing his powerful inner force, and the heavy stone tablet stood upright. Boom. Immediately afterward, Lin Tian leapt into the air, slamming his palm down on the top of the stone tablet. The stone tablet, bearing the immense force, was driven more than a meter into the ground. Lin Tian's figure then soared into the air again. Boom. Boom. After 3 blows, the stone tablet was embedded 4 meters deep in the ground. The surrounding crowd was utterly astonished. Was this possible by human power? A 7 or 8 ton stone tablet was erected, and with just 3 blows, such a massive tablet was driven 4 meters into the ground. Is Grandmaster Lin just a martial arts grandmaster? Someone muttered softly. Beside him, Zhang Chongshu's heart skipped a beat. He possessed the dark force level in martial arts and had some understanding of it. Were martial arts grandmasters really that strong? Master Lin might actually be a grandmaster of martial arts. The sea-suppressing divine steel. Lin Tian descended from the top of the steel, his palm forming a writing brush, and the stone seemed to be carved with characters by his hand. This scene deeply shocked everyone present. Zhang Chongshu and Xu Tianji exchanged a glance. They felt that Master Lin was quite likely a grandmaster of martial arts. Otherwise, wouldn't the difference between a martial arts master and a martial arts grandmaster be too great? They knew some martial arts masters, and none of them were this monstrous. Master Lin, is it done? Cheng Qingyuan stepped forward and asked. His attitude had been very polite before, but now it was somewhat respectful. Lin Tian's methods were divine. Of course. Lin Tian smiled. Where do you all think the typhoon should go? Everyone present unanimously thought of Dongying Kingdom. Such a good thing, of course, should go to Dongying Kingdom. You guys really want to? Don't even think about it. This is a typhoon, it's the will of heaven. How can human beings control the specific path of a typhoon? Wherever it goes, it's the will of heaven. Lin Tian said with a smile. As he spoke, he silently began to manipulate the entire feng shui formation. Chapter 140 We must believe in science. The Internet in East Asia. Ha ha ha, even China's own meteorological bureau has announced it, confirming the landfall location is China. A Category 18 typhoon, perfect for sending them to the deepest hell. Let the typhoon blow even harder. The East Asian Internet was abuzz with jubilation. These days, very few people in East Asia are friendly towards China. They practically wish for China to suffer daily disasters. An increasingly powerful China terrifies them. After all, their ancestors committed many atrocities. Gentlemen, how about we build a thread to summon this typhoon? If countless people can't summon it, then it means God is targeting China. A popular East Asian internet celebrity posted. This typhoon is extremely powerful, and many people in East Asia are paying attention to it. He wants to capitalize on this wave of attention. Originally, he was hesitant, but now, the meteorological bureaus of East Asia, the Philippines, and even China have all announced that the typhoon will make landfall on China's southeast coast. This wave of attention is too good to pass up. Haha, this is fun. Watch my grand summoning spell. Typhoon Hague, come to our Dongying Kingdom. Yeah, come to our Dongying Kingdom. I'm joining the summoning army too, come on, little Hague. The post gained popularity, with many people from Dongying Kingdom joining in the fun. In their view, Hague making landfall in China was a foregone conclusion. They could use this to mock China later. Countless summons had been useless, Typhoon Hague was heading straight for China. It seemed like the heavens were determined to target China. The news quickly reached China. Seeing this, many netizens in China were indignant. They knew very well that those people from Dongying Kingdom had no good intentions. Now, turn around and head to Dongying Kingdom. Lin Tian shouted inwardly. He activated the power of the dragon vein through the Junhai Tower, and a powerful, invisible force field blocked the typhoon's path. 200 or 300 kilometers away, Typhoon the Hague, which had been moving in a straight line, suddenly made a strange turn. Originally heading northwest, it now turned northeast. Japan is located to the northeast. What's going on? Has the Hague changed direction? The China Meteorological Administration detected this change immediately. Don't get too excited, everyone. We need to see if it can continue. A leader from the Meteorological Administration said in a deep voice. His hand, holding a teacup, trembled slightly. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, half a minute passed, and the weather satellite clearly showed that the Hague had indeed changed direction. It was heading northeast, moving away from China. Beep beep. On Lin Tian's side, the expert at the Meteorological Administration received a call, and his face quickly lit up with surprise. After hanging up the phone, he exclaimed excitedly, Secretary Cheng, it's changed direction. Typhoon Hague has really changed direction. It's now heading northeast straight towards Japan. Following its current path, Typhoon Hague will sweep across the entire country. Cheng Qingyuan was equally overjoyed upon hearing this news. Master Lin, thank you so much. On behalf of the entire people of F Province, I thank Master Lin for your efforts. Cheng Qingyuan grasped Lin Tian's hand excitedly. Lin Tian smiled slightly. Secretary Cheng, you don't need to thank me. The typhoon's change of direction has nothing to do with me. I think we absolutely cannot rely on feudal superstition in matters like this, we must believe in science. Cheng Qingyuan's expression was a little strange. He nodded and said, Master Lin, you're right. Where a typhoon goes is ordained by fate, how can human effort change it? What we're doing here is like grasping at straws in desperation. Lin Tian smiled and nodded, Secretary Cheng, you're right. The typhoon's change of direction is just a coincidence. Don't you all agree? The surrounding crowd echoed. But they didn't really think so. Yesterday, Lin Tian said he could definitely handle it. Today, Lin Tian erected the monument, and not long after, the typhoon changed direction. Could it really be such a coincidence? An 18-level typhoon contains enormous energy. Changing its path is no easy feat. Especially such a drastic change. And it's heading towards Dongying country. Lin Tian had asked them beforehand which direction he wanted Typhoon Hague to go. Everyone was thinking the same thing, though no one said it aloud. Master Lin, do you think this typhoon might change course again? Cheng Qingyuan asked, a hint of worry in his voice. Lin Tian chuckled, personally, I think that since it has made such a significant change, it shouldn't change course again. It's already on the right track. A knowing smile appeared on the faces of some of those present. This route would sweep across the entire territory of Dongying Kingdom. It was definitely the optimal route, even carrying nuclear wastewater into their inland areas. Master Lin, you've been busy all night, shall we find a place for some morning tea? Cheng Qingyuan smiled. Lin Tian shook his head, Secretary Cheng, you have many things to do, and I also have other matters to attend to. I'll take my leave now. With that, Lin Tian lightly tapped his toes on the ground. He vanished without a trace in mere seconds. Master Lin is a true master, including feng shui, he's a five-fold master. Cheng Qingyuan remarked with admiration. Zhang Chongshu coughed lightly. Secretary Cheng, let's speak privately. Cheng Qingyuan followed Zhang Chongshu and Xu Tianji to the side. Zhang Chongshu said softly, Secretary Cheng, we believe Master Lin might be a Grand Master of martial arts. He might also be a Grand Master of feng shui. Xu Tianji said, this typhoon was too powerful, I doubt a feng shui master could possess such abilities. Cheng Qingyuan's gaze sharpened. If he were a Grand Master of martial arts, that would be extraordinary. Are you sure? Cheng Qingyuan inquired. Zhang Chongshu shook his head. I can't be sure, but could a martial arts grandmaster erect such a heavy stone tablet? I doubt it. Cheng Qingyuan nodded slightly. Since Grandmaster Lin claims to be a grandmaster, then you should all consider him a grandmaster. Yes, Secretary Cheng. Zhang Chongshu and the others nodded. Eastern Yingguo Meteorological Bureau. Baka. What's going on? Meteorological Bureau Director Yoshimori Shin was dumbfounded. Typhoon Hague was originally heading straight for China, but now it's turned around and heading straight for them. Director, we need to issue an immediate warning. Someone beside him reminded him. Yoshimori Shin shouted sternly, what are you all standing there for? Issue a weather warning immediately. The other side, contact Fukushima Island to stop discharging nuclear wastewater immediately. The typhoon will carry the contaminated seawater inland. The surrounding people hurriedly began to work. Shortly after, one of them said, Chief, the authorities on Fukushima Island replied that the nuclear wastewater has just been discharged. Damn it! Yoshimori Shin cursed angrily. Chief, could this typhoon's change of direction be related to this? Someone raised their hand. Yoshimori Shin walked over and saw a petition post with over 1 million replies. Damn it! They actually petitioned for The Hague to come to our country, and now they're happy. Yoshimori Shin was furious. He knew this shouldn't be related, but seeing the post about the typhoon's change of direction still infuriated him. What's going on? Why is the typhoon heading this way? Could the petition have come true? By Amaterasu, I hope this isn't true. The latest news from the Meteorological Bureau stunned many people in East Asia. The typhoon had completely changed its course. It's over, I'm finished. The internet celebrity who posted the message turned pale. If Typhoon Hague were to sweep across Donggying Kingdom, the damage would be immense, and the wrath of countless people would flood towards him. Ha, that's hilarious. He asked for it and got it. Donggying Kingdom summoned Typhoon Hague. And it really passed. Countless people in China were overjoyed. Beep beep. Luo Bingning made a video called to Lin Tian. The bronze treasure chest above her head had suddenly transformed into a golden treasure chest. The typhoon's change of direction stunned her. Wife, did you miss me? Lin Tian said with a smile. Luo Bingning nodded almost imperceptibly. Honey. Are you done with your work? When are you coming back? I'll pick you up at the airport.